Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome back to another episode of Stamford Bridge. Which, yeah, I feel like things have just gotten worse. Like every week.
What things where, I guess, is the question, right?
It's just, well, this is actually going insane, I swear to God.
Yeah.
All right, so we have several topics today. We might even get to the relaxing one I'd actually planned for today, God willing. But we can even actually begin with a moment of non-tyranny for the United Kingdom, with Nigel Farage's plan to deport 600,000 asylum seekers.
Well, it's not asylum seekers. It's illegal immigrants. We don't have 600,000 asylum seekers. Fox News are just not really very switched on to what's actually happening.
Pretty normal, pretty normal.
Yeah. But yeah, it's illegal immigrants. Now, thing is, he's already been like, oh yeah, we won't deport women and children though. I don't let me let me find you an example.
Yeah, see, that's the problem, because if you don't deport the family, then surely they could just, ask for family reunion a few years later.
Well, yeah, there's that. I saw basically I saw a really great image that would have completely summarized the point, but I can't remember the name of the account I saw it on. But basically, a lot of the asylum seekers who are children are people who are lying about their fucking age. And I saw this amazing one with this 17-year-old, and he's got the baldest head in the world.
Yes.
It's like Patrick Stewart, bald. Captain Picard fucking bald, and it's like, fuck off, bro. There's no way in hell I'd believe that you were 17. So there's that. But yeah, you are right. Like they'll like just have them come over, and it'll be ruled in the court under the Human Rights Act, Article 8, I think it is, where it's right to a family life, and it'll be like, right, okay, well, then you bring his 5 wives and 27 children. Sounds brilliant.
Yep. We've, a lot of us have seen the children coming over already.
Yeah.
But Britain received 108,100 asylum applications in 2024.
Yeah, so it's not that many asylum applications. It's not that's just not the problem. The problem is legal immigration. And everyone knows it. And yet here we are. We're talking about the 100,000 asylum seekers. Okay, that's not good. But we let in over 1 million a year. Like, we let in something like 300,000 workers, 300,000 dependents, and then 300,000 students, and then miscellaneous other. And so it's just like, and it's like, yeah, I'm going to get rid of the 600,000 illegal. It's like, yeah, but the illegals are here on top of all of that. Like, it's, there are 100,000 asylum seekers. Man, if that were the extent of our fucking problems.
I suppose that's the issue, as usual. The focus in on the illegal.
Yeah, it's just safe for him to do, because obviously no one agrees on the illegals. But the thing is, 2/3 of the public agree with the legals. We don't want legal immigration either.
At the very least, not until the nation begins to stabilize again.
Yeah, but even then, you say that, the public's never been in favor of immigration. Ever. Doesn't matter how far back you go, like a consistent, somewhere between 2/3 and 3/4 of people are just like, no. Why would we want that?
Well, to be good progressive liberals. That's why.
That's why it was forced upon us, yeah.
whether you like it or not.
Yeah. Everyone has just been systematically backstabbed.
Oh, we'll see, we'll see. At least Nigel Farage is doing something mildly correct.
Yeah, I mean, it's good that it's going in that direction, but like, it's just so weak, you know? Like, so little. It's far too little, far too late.
Now, on the topic of Britain, so something that popped off, was it last week? That I kind of want to address. So, I'm sure you've seen the Scotland girl, of course.
Yep.
But she's obviously been arrested because Scotland.
Yeah.
I don't think. So apparently, there's been a lot of rumors coming out around this, and I don't really want to talk about the rumors because nobody fucking knows what's true. I've seen at least 3 different posts now claiming to be in contact with the girl's parents, all presenting 3 different stories.
Yeah, same. I'm honestly not sure.
Yeah, so it's really difficult because I've seen everything from people claiming that her sister was actually attacked by the migrants following her.
Yeah.
Others claiming that she was like a known delinquent in the area and the people were afraid of her and so on.
Yeah.
So
I mean, she looked pretty scared to me in that video, to be honest.
Yes.
Also, another thing worth remembering is that the "oh, she's a bad person and deserves it" narrative is exactly the narrative that facilitated the grooming gangs. So
Yes.
I'm less inclined to believe that actually this 12-year-old deserved whatever she's supposed to be getting. I'm just really disinclined to believe that narrative these days.
Yep. But it's very confused and nobody knows for sure right now, and I don't like talking too stridently on a matter that seems so nebulous.
Oh, yes.
But one thing that I do want to talk about that I've seen become more and more popular, especially from Americans, is this thing here. Why aren't there any men to help us? Britain has no men. We're on our own.
Right.
Okay, so I've seen this a lot of from the American side, which basically go, why aren't you armed? And a lot from women as well, going, hey men, why aren't you protecting us? Like, hold on a second.
Well,
Uno momento,
yeah.
por favor.
Yeah, I've seen some bad takes on this, to be honest. The first and most obvious thing is it was in the middle of the day, so a lot of men will have been at work. Secondly is, if there are a lot of men around, do you think asylum seekers and immigrants are going to start harassing girls in the street? Less so. You know, this sort of stuff tends to happen when there aren't any men around.
Yes.
Thirdly, there's the, well, you made the state criminalize anyone who does anything against the migrants. So, you know,
there's many layers to this answer, but the most obvious is like, okay, why haven't the men risen up? Well, because the government has gotten very good at stepping down on that.
And what's the plan anyway? You saying that any men in Britain should just start massacring migrants willy-nilly?
How will that
I don't think
end
that's a good idea. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think that'd work, and I don't think it'd be moral. So actually, I'm not sure we should start massacring migrants willy-nilly. I'm actually against it, if you can believe it.
Opposed to?
Yeah.
Not to mention as well, okay, let's say that there was a the movement in Britain that was like, oh my god, this is happening, we've got to organize in some way. So the Americans say, like, okay, England arrests people for carrying potato peelers.
Yeah.
Okay. Where the fuck are you gonna? How are you gonna organize?
Yeah. You know, there was a particular case in Scotland where a homeless guy would, with a water pistol, pretend to stick people up and ask them for money. Obviously, he's charming joke, right? I'm homeless, I need a bit of money. Stick him up, right? It's a water pistol. He actually got done by a judge under the gun laws. I'm not joking.
Of course.
And it's just like, right, okay. That was in Scotland as well.
Yeah. The simple answers to why there's not militias in the streets is very simple. The government has become very good at controlling this. And this is
deeply tyrannical.
What pissed me off the most too is the handful of women I've seen going like, where are the men? Like, listen, you voted for the emasculation of those men. You voted for decades of liberal rule to criminalize everything. And now suddenly
feminism has just evaporated at this point, right?
Yeah. And now
Things
suddenly the
got
complaint
dangerous.
is that men aren't men enough. In England.
And Scotland. Just in Britain generally, this is. But it's like, it's genuinely the C.S. Lewis men with chest thing. You geld and bid the geldings be fruitful.
Yeah.
Well, why did you do that?
I find it because it annoys me on a very deep level, because a lot of this came from the women part of the country, the overwhelming majority part of it. And hell, I'm Norwegian. I don't even have a dog in this race, but it's annoying because it's a rejection of reality. It's like, why aren't you doing this? Well, it's not a thing that can be done. Why don't you climb a ladder to the moon?
Yeah, it's the same principles. That's the problem. Like, this is happening all across the West for a reason. And, if women want to keep voting left wing, then you're going to keep getting these results.
And there's not going to be, you don't have the option then to look over at the men and go, why aren't you helping me?
Conversely, I did see the sort of red pill types being like, this is what she gets for voting for this. And it's like, mate, she's 12.
Yeah, she didn't vote for this.
Yeah. Like, that's a really fucking dumb take, isn't it?
Yes. Because the really simple thing is, there is right now a situation where the government has gotten very good at controlling the populace and has created a privileged class, which for one reason or another, we shall not speculate, it elects not to...
Police.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's so fucking weird.
And so this isn't a question of there not being any English men. It's that the English man has to consider, okay, do I want to go to jail for 10 years? Do I want to go to a 72% Somali jail?
Yeah.
And achieve nothing?
As well, did you see what the government did today?
What?
Oh my god, I'll send it to you. How? It's just fucking insufferable, right?
I have lost shit.
Me.
I have lost
searching
shit.
Yeah, I'm looking for like the thing is, it's like, no, there we go. Yeah.
Service guarantees citizenship.
Right, okay. It's just, it's the night that I'm shocked that there is any room in our backs for more knives. Right? But every day they're like, oh no, there's a space here. Right? So the Home Office, which is the arm of the government that deals with the general settlement of the country, has decided, the rights of the foreigners who are going out and raping children are above the rights of the people in Epping and their right not to be raped.
Oh, like I said, for one reason or another.
And so they are appealing to the High Court that made the judgment they have to move the migrants from Epping to overturn it so they can keep the migrants there within vision range of a school. It's just like, and there's one that's already on charges, and it's just like, fucking hell, man. This is like what would happen if we were being ruled by literal villains.
Mr. Kabutu denies 2 counts of sexual assault. Oh, good.
Well, he said that he wanted to make babies with her and then start touching her or something.
Have babies, then go to Kenya.
Yeah, there we go.
At court on Wednesday was heard Hadush Kabatu, a 41-year-old child, I assume.
Yeah.
told the
Told a
teenager that she
14-year-old.
would be a good wife and that he wanted her to go back with him to the hotel, have babies, then go to Kenya.
I thought you were a fucking asylum seeker. I thought you were a fucking refugee, you fucking lion.
That is
So-
also one of the best pickup lines I think I've ever heard.
But I thought you were fleeing, bro. You know, I thought that you needed protection from us. I mean, it's all such a fucking charade. What this is a bunch of adventurers who, frankly, have interracial marriage fantasies with white children and want to steal them away to Kenya to have them as wives, right? I mean, that's literally what he's done here from his own admission. And it's like, right, but we've got to pretend these are poor, innocent men who just, oh, they're just fleeing from persecution, bro. Just fuck off. This is such a fucking obvious lie. I hate it.
And yet the local government has gone to bat for
Yeah.
the alleged rapist.
Exactly. And the government is like, yeah, no, the rights of the rapist trump the rights of that 14-year-old not to get raped. It's
Yeah.
Answer my calm, man. So,
Again, this is why this entire thing comes back. Like, it's how the world is right now. And there are only really two solutions: a political one, which is the ideal one, and another one we're not allowed to discuss on YouTube. But
well, all solutions are political ultimately.
I suppose, yes.
Like, so, you know,
But
a democratic solution is preferable, yeah. It's just that we're just constantly saddled with governments that have imposed laws that allow them to appeal to that allow them to state that the human rights of the illegals are more important than their victims.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, there just shouldn't be laws on the books. That shouldn't be something they could appeal to, right? That kind of appeal should never be able to be made. Any law that's on the books that allows that appeal to be made has to be struck off.
It's the thing, Americans, you're spoiled. You still have a degree of freedom, which is why you see something like this and go, well, it can't be that bad. No.
Oh,
no,
it's exactly as fucking bad.
It can be. As also, I want to add in one final point as well. Okay, let's say that the man did step in, right? A random man comes in with the knife and axe, okay? Instead of the little
Oh,
kid.
yeah, he's going to jail forever.
Yes, that man is going to go to jail for intimidation, for attempted assault, for attempted fucking murder, for possession
Carrying
of
a
a
dangerous
weapon.
weapon. Yeah.
The list goes on.
Yep.
At which point, he is going to be sent to jail for 10, 20, 30 years. If he survives jail, which is not a certainty in England, especially not if you come in there with a reputation for hate crimes against the majority of the jail's populace.
Yeah.
Who's going to look after his kids then, whilst he's spending the next 3 decades in jail?
Good question.
You have to then risk your own, not only your life, your freedom, your families.
Your livelihood. You know,
All
what
of
if you've
this.
got business? Like, it's just not something you can reasonably ask people to do.
Yeah. That's the sad state of things right now.
Yeah.
I see chat has opinions on this, so I guess we'll get to chat before.
Hold on,
we go.
I wasn't even looking at the chat. What was chat saying?
Let's begin here with the Streamlabs on Superchats. Marksman, Dem Haitian mayor candidate disqualified by party after he was caught cheating in Minneapolis. 200 years of knowing how to do anything. Frank Zanu. Ah, yes, the Somali mayoral candidate was disqualified for cheating, apparently.
Oh, what, the one that looks like he was at a Mars attacks?
Yes, that one.
Oh, I can't believe he didn't take the democratic tradition of the United States fucking seriously. Who could believe
Strange.
it? You know, can't believe he acted like a Somalian. I was reassured by James Lindsay that he was just as American as any American.
I'm a Krigsman. Arch, remove my 10 chuff from yesterday from the Catgirl Fund, where that name came from. You asked for Catgirl. Put it towards the normal Arch Cat Fund. And greetings, Mr. Benjamin. There you go.
Greetings.
Leg 623. Here's a positive for everyone. Lord Arch, I would like to beseech the Emperor's blessing upon my marriage that occurs next Saturday. The Imperium shall stand firm with my offspring holding the gates. Congratulations, Rubber Legs. May you have many years of fruitful marriage. Santo, with how things are going in the UK and things some non-natives saying in the UK, I fear violence is inevitable without drastic change.
Well, something's fucking inevitable, I'll tell you that.
The flag thing is what I'm looking at most closely right now, because the next stage in this historically is street brawls.
Yeah, it's escalating sectarian conflict, unfortunately. This is why it's like, Nigel, you'd better be fucking ready, mate. Right? You better be ready to start destroying the administrative state on day one. Like, you better be ready to start taking down all of these fucking laws.
I don't think we're going to be quite that lucky, but we'll see. Alex Anderson, gimme Gran comes illegal. Government beings his family. Government gets rid of illegal. Family remains. Problem unsolved. Fun of your choice. Yes, exactly. Because there was even a mention that Nigel Farage said, like, this will remove the incentive. No, it'll shift it slightly. Now, all you need to do is get one member of the family to stay, and if they then become accepted, the entire family comes. Like, that's always been the tactic here.
Yeah. And they do it all the time. All the time. And the thing is, the courts will literally be like, oh yeah, you can bring like 30 people over. Like, this is the thing with the Afghan refugee resettlement thing, right? They're like, oh, it's only 25,000 people. It's like, yeah, but they could be bringing any number of family members. You know, each one could bring 10 fucking family members, mate. You know? And of course, the Tories did that secretly, and they put out an injunction on it so it couldn't be reported. They smuggled them. They were literal people traffickers smuggling Afghans into the country. It's so unbelievable.
Sajad, the police who arrested her need to be ostracized from society. Oh, that's already happening. Words cannot convey how infuriating this situation has, and I'd be arrested if I were to say them. Yep. No, the police have already. They are slowly but surely, not even slowly. They are becoming the enemy of the people.
Yeah, nobody's happy with police. If that helps.
There was a few months ago where there was a female police officer who. There was another girl, a young teenage girl, who called her a bad word, and they broke into their home and dragged her out in front of her parents.
Yeah, that was I think it was last year. Basically, an autistic girl said that this police officer looked like her lesbian nana because the police officer was a frumpy blonde woman with short hair and a miserable look. And so yeah, they stormed in and arrested her for hate speech of some sort. Like, oh, okay. That's reasonable.
Very reasonable.
An autistic teenage girl.
Trick or treat.
Very, very reasonable. And a document, 3:11 p.m. EST. Late. What I miss? Oh, just England. Child the Beagle. About the Scottish girl, I don't remember this scene from the film Brave. Also, I see French and Italian women started to have pigs as pets, take them for walks to ward off the diversity. I did see that, yes.
I doubt Muslims are actually afraid of pigs, though. I think they just are repulsed by it.
Yes.
Are you ready to rut this yellow mare?
And I think, was that fact checked?
I don't know.
Yes, I think it was. It was a isolated incident because, again, yes, the Muslims aren't actually afraid of the pigs. It's not like a cross to a demon or anything.
No.
So locks on doppelganger, get weapon, and Minecraft police to take them. Yeah, you know how that works out in Grand Theft Auto? You know how the police kind of just keep coming? Well, you're not the hero of a video game in reality.
No.
That's kind of the problem. If the Strange just get 100 men to escort each woman, they can take on a gorilla.
then I mean, this then just approaches like Saudi Arabia, right? Women can't leave the house without a man, and it's like, oh, great. So we're literally just becoming the Arab country we didn't want to be.
Well, the interesting thing is, of course, if you take a moment to consider that, why did the Arab country begin with that tradition of requiring men to escort their women outside the house?
Yes.
You begin to realize, oh, hold on. Are we in the early stage of mass Islamification? Yes.
Yeah. Which is doing what they want us to do. So, oh, great.
Yes. That is a reaction to a collapsing society. It's not something you'd like to advocate for. God, I remember 10 years ago reading articles about feminists going like, oh yes, there's a white man behind me. I clutch my keys so I can stab him if he tries to rape me. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You have no idea what you were voting for. Steel Manning, if King Charles, who is a Britlib, ordered all the patriots of England to stand down and accept leftist authority, what is the moral reasoning of patriots to persist?
Sorry, say that again.
If King Charles, who is a Britlib, ordered all the patriots of England to stand down and accept leftist authority, what is the moral reasoning of patriots to resist?
Well, I mean, the king can be a traitor to the nation.
In fact, England has a long and proud tradition of deposing traitorous kings.
Yeah, literally treason was what Charles I was executed on. So it's not like we can't observe a traitorous king.
There's plenty of options there as well. Yes.
Yeah.
Again, remember who Cromwell fought.
Yeah.
That is a good movie. People should watch Cromwell.
Yeah. And, you know, reflect on why Cromwell was necessary.
158, Carl, the piece of paper says we can't protect children. Oh, well, I guess we can't do anything about it.
I have lost.
Yeah, that's literally where Britain is right now.
Oh, yeah, because that's the thing. Like, you can disassemble, you can progressivist this and go, well, it's just a piece of paper. That's true. But that piece of paper can send 30 armed men to your house and break down your door and arrest you.
Yep. And will.
Authority is not a fictional thing, unfortunately.
No.
Slugs and Doppelganger, revolt is always possible. Oh, yes, you'll just have to... okay, you are in one of the most repressive states in the West. There are CCTV cameras on every corner. The government is about to institute rules to read your messages. It's already blocking foreign VPNs and taking control over the internet. You are going to organize a revolt against the government.
Yeah, then how will you do that?
It's going to be a long and hard road. And you're very unlikely to succeed.
Yeah.
See, I understand also that chat is probably just memeing, but I that's the reason why I wanted to bring up this entire thing, because there is this sentiment of virtuous indignation, right? That comes from it. That you see an event that should not happen of a girl needing to wield weapons to protect herself and her sister, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people then feel very strongly about it, but unfortunately reality then sets in yet again.
Yeah. And again, like people are like, oh, you should do something. It's like, well, I mean, there are other people who rely on me. And if I do something stupid, then those people start going hungry. And possibly lose a house.
Furthermore, I would even argue, we are doing something. Like this, speaking on it is about the most you can reasonably do at this point.
Yeah. Pressuring Nigel Farage to actually be fucking serious would be good.
Yes. Krieger, remember what I said, Arch? Nothing ever happens, then it all happens at once.
Yep.
It does seem that way, yeah. Anti-hero, we might not know what exactly happened to the girl. What I know is that seeing the fear on her face made me feel ashamed for what the West has become. Now, on that, we can agree. The question then is how to extricate ourselves from a situation that we've gotten ourselves into over the last 50-odd years.
Yeah.
Mercenary 71, we are about to hit critical mass, guys. Biblical. See, the most fascinating with that is I really am intrigued by the Raise the Colors movement and where that's going to go. Because there doesn't seem to be a response to it from the establishment. They can't simply keep taking down flags, repainting roundabouts. It's expensive, it's a hassle, it doesn't make them popular, it only draws attention to it yet further. Did you see the clip from The Bad Man, where a dude with a ladder shows up and is going to try and take down one of the English flags that a bunch of people had put up on a flag post, or not flag post,
I
but,
did see that one, yeah.
Yeah. He arrives at first and he is so utterly confident. Hey, I have alerted the authorities. They know what's going on here. He's smiling. He figures that the people around him will simply bow, and scatter to the winds like the evil cockroaches they are.
Yeah.
And they don't. And you see his face just begin to fall rapidly as he's... Am I in a bad position here?
Am I the villain?
Yeah.
Yes, you fucking are. 100% the villain.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of people in that position who are going to try and do something similar or argue with a friend or a family member who are then going to find themselves, hold on, why the minority?
I guess we'll find out.
Brian Alleman, the woman told us their choice quite clearly, and I say give them what they want to protect them. Unleash the bears on the streets.
I have lost.
Well, unfortunately, there are no bears in Britain.
Alice Anderson, typical women, they think they want something and then they don't, and get confused when it turns out they actually want the opposite.
I have lost.
We had that.
Shit.
Fred58, a bully is only as strong as you allow them to be. Well, the bully is the UK government.
Yeah.
It's pretty strong. Sujad, nothing fucks up things for women more than giving them what they ask for. That does seem to be a trend. Mr. X81, before the end of the year, the rug pull will happen. You'll see, Scarf the Strange, why can't they just go for the middle-aged Karens that brought them in the first place? It's what they want.
Well, why would they want to do that? They're here for children. Literally what the migrant hotel guy will tell you.
158.
He literally comes over and he's like, "You'll make a good wife. I'll take you back to Kenya." Like, what? The fuck are you in my country for? You're not a refugee. Why are we having this conversation?
You either fight for yourself or no one fights for you. Ben Manger, Sargon, communism, socialism is maximally individualistic, bull, and worst thing I've heard of you say. Can we at least agree that communism, socialism, at the end of the day, are the end of private property?
Yes. But that's what maximum individualism is. Everyone's been such a fucking retard on this. Like, property is something that only some people do.
Guarantees citizenship.
Some people don't own property. And so if you want everyone to be the same, as in universal, every individual has equality, that's the most universalistic position, where every individual has exactly the same. It has to be the end of property. That's the point of communism. It is the most maximally individualistic movement. That's the point. It doesn't manifest that way in politics. You have a vanguard that takes over and imposes via the state the end of property. But that's because the philosophy of communism is fucking stupid. But to be like, oh, we want individualism, not that silly socialist communism that's collectivist. No, it's just better than you at being individualistic. That's what it is.
Ah, I see now why I've been getting weird messages about Sargon.
Yeah, it's because people are thick. Like literally, like it's because the liberals know nothing about liberalism. That's what it all boils down to, really.
Well, what I see it as is, in essence, that we have the view of liberalism isn't actually what liberalism is in its extreme. What people mean when they say liberalism is basically the 90s, which is not the end of liberalism, nor is it the inevitable end of liberalism. That's one of the biggest problems with it. It has no checks and balances within it to halt us in that idealistic period. Instead, we will simply continue pushing towards more liberalism. That's what makes it progressivist.
The whole point is to eventually make it
Are you
so that
ready to rut this
mankind is
yellow mare's
completely
fluttery,
liberated
buttery
from
bud?
any unchosen obligation on one another. I mean, like, why do people think that the Marx and Engels and the rest are against the family, right? The family is a
Are you
collectivist
ready to rut
entity.
this yellow
right?
mare's
They are
fluttery,
against it
buttery bud?
because they are such radical individualists that they think being born in a family and having these unchosen collective bonds are a form of oppression. Like, they genuinely think this. And it's just like, okay, well, these people are mad, but at least they're honest, right? The liberal says, oh, I want freedom, but not that much freedom. Oh, I want equality, but not that much equality. And the thing is, their arguments are terrible. Because the answer is, why not? Well, I just like it where I am. And so they are constantly on the hook for charges of just being essentially bourgeois backsliders,
Heresy's the question.
which accurately
Fire's the
characterizes
answer.
basically any of them. And so it's like, yeah, no, like you can see why the communists are always dogging the liberals. They're always snapping at the heels because they are right about the liberals, right? The communist
You
critique of
ignorant
liberalism and
slut.
the liberals is correct on the liberals' own terms. The problem is what the liberals promised in the beginning and what they expect to achieve at the end. No, this is all fucking nonsense. Just be normal.
Yep. This is...
Trick or treat.
What was it? I think
Eat.
it was Vosh who actually put it quite well in this regard. I am simply for more freedom than you.
Yes. Yes, that's completely true. And he's right. He is right. He is for
Are
more
you
freedom.
ready
For them.
to rut
But
this
I'm not for
yellow
the
mare's
I'm not for like
fluttery, buttery
atomic
bud?
freedom of the individual. I think the individual exists in a social system in which they have duties and responsibilities as well as rights. And so no, I'm not for
Ignorant
liberalism.
slut.
And even then, even Vosh himself will eventually hit a level of freedom where he will think, oh, this is enough. And that won't be
Well,
enough.
Well, the question is, will
Ignorant
he?
slut.
You know, that's the thing. He might be the kind of lunatic who's like, yeah, no, I think that children should be liberated from their parents. I think people should be liberated from their property, and we should all be like just basically not really exist in society. Like Marx had a line which was, he wants socialized Robinson Crusoes, men who are isolated on islands but in society. That's the aim.
I suspect both Vosh is joining the Hassan Paike crew on that, when there's a certain amount of freedom that'll start impacting his own personal hoard.
Yeah, well, that's probably true.
At which point there's a little bit too much freedom going around. The freedom that most socialists asked for ends the moment a man darkens their front porch. Let's see.
Pretty much.
Come on, Sargon. Well, Plague Runner says, come on, son. What's a little child grape from your invader?
Oh, far too much.
I mean, I thought we had created a system of laws to prevent this. Like, that was supposed to be it. Like, okay, is it illegal to rape children? Yes. Okay, well, fuck. I guess we're done here. But then, decades later, there comes a but from the government.
Yeah.
That's the entire issue. Like, an entire system was created. Like, I want to point this out too. An entire system was created in the West specifically to prevent and forbid this. An entire legal system with police, enforcement, all of these things, all of the tools, all of the powers you can imagine, specifically to prevent this one thing that we find near universally abominable. And we have still managed to override that instinct via liberalism.
Yeah. Pretty fucking preposterous when you think about it.
Yeah, but it goes a long way to demonstrate like the amount of backsliding that comes in with it, that is inherent within the philosophy. Because you don't have an argument against the person saying, yeah, but I just want more liberty than you do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've already conceded the premise. And the thing is as well, because liberals just don't understand their own philosophy and they don't understand what it's rooted in. They don't understand why they're constantly getting one-upped by the communists as well. They're just like, no, I don't want that. I just want like a moderate range of freedom. It's like, yeah, but you can have that in any society. Like the average Arab has got the moderate range of freedom you're asking for, you fucking idiots. Oh, I'm a liberal. I'm not
Are
like
you
that. Oh,
ready
shut
to
up.
rut this yellow mare's fluttery buttery butt?
I'm just so sick of idiots, basically.
Service guarantee.
And the thing is, this
citizenship.
idiocy is destroying my country. Absolutely destroying. It's getting people raped. It is costing everyone a fucking fortune. It is ruining my nation. This fucking commitment to this bizarre idea that nobody actually owes anyone anything, which means everyone's got to pay for foreigners to live here.
Well, that's what happens when you create a democratic system but never educate anyone on philosophy.
Exactly. And the thing is, it's like everyone knows everyone has moral obligations that are unchosen to other people. Everyone knows, like you can philosophically say, oh, well, I mean, like, I'm for freedom, I'm for equality. It's like, not really. You're really not, because if you found a child wandering around the streets, you'd be like, oh, well, he's as free and equal as anyone. No, you'd be like, God, where are your parents? You just go straight up and go, where are your parents? Are you lost? You go and help because you know in your heart of hearts you're full of shit. That's the thing. Am I wrong?
That's a good way of putting it, though.
Am I
like that.
wrong? You're not like, oh no, that kid's just been liberated from the oppression of his patriarchal family that he didn't choose. No. Right. And again, it's just in everything. In everything. Oh, where are the men? No, these children have been liberated. So these asylum seekers who are exactly the same as us, what are you talking about? Where are the men? That's a question a liberal can't ask.
Roland Compton, America should liberate the UK. Only if you liberate Norway, too.
No, we do not want external interference.
I don't know. I'm looking at America right now, and I'm feeling pretty good about it.
Well, no, we don't want external interference.
Scarf the Strange, I imagine that speech from the King on Netflix playing each time a flag is raised. Make it England.
Yes.
Before we, chat is very active today, which I'm happy to see, but, alright. To get to the other topics as well, before we run out of... Oh, Krieger for 50, thank you. Spoke too soon. Sargon, I've been reading a good bit of Christian history and have come to the conclusion that liberalism is secularized Christianity. An example, universal human dignity and equality before the law. The Imago Dei and equality before God. Thoughts?
Yes, specifically secularized Protestantism. This is Alistair McIntyre's conclusion. If you think about like how liberalism came about, it's a very narrow conversation that's happening in about half a dozen Northwest European Germanic countries, and basically the entire world is left out of it, and yet liberalism becomes an accusation against the entire world. And so if you think like the French Revolution is basically, this is what Alistair McIntyre points out, is basically the French saying, we want entry into the conversation that the Protestants have been having, and so we're going to kill our king over it. The Russian Revolution is we want entry into the conversations that the Protestants have been having, and we're going to kill the Tsar over it. In China, we're going to kill whatever, the emperor or whatever it is. Like, this is what is basically being declared with these revolutions. But these peoples never had anything to do with the philosophy and culture that produces this kind of mindset, because Arch, you'll know as much as anyone else. The
Thanks for
Protestant
having me.
mindset is very much a Northwest European Germanic mindset, and it is just not exportable to other places. It is something that the Protestant countries have just had forever. Even when they were Catholic, they still thought this way, and this is just the culture that we are, and we have been just since day dot. You know, this is not a universal thing.
No, it is not a universal thing. The issue is also we have forgotten to be strident about it, which is what has allowed a lot of this to come in and take over.
Yeah,
And-
absolutely.
On the topic of
Service guarantees
Christianity
citizenship.
as well. See, secularized Christianity. Christianity itself has long since been conquered. Like, Western Christianity is no longer Christian, by and large. And this is across America as well, which is still more Christian, again, than a lot of the West. And I happened across a beautiful little clip that illustrates this quite well.
Oh, yeah, go. Oh, fucking hell.
So, this
My
then,
name is Katie Von Sparkle, a.k.a.
Katie Von Sparkle, there, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Who is going to hold a mass for us now, and she's dressed very appropriately.
I'm persuaded. Just
Because I've seen quite often now recently as well the argument made that the answer is basically to return to Christianity. And I like a lot of the ideas that traditional Christianity presents to us, and a lot of it sounds like a great pushback against the problems that are infecting our society as well. But I then immediately I see shit like I go like, okay, listen, Christianity has the exact same flaw within it, in that it is too good for its own good. You will have the Pope, the Prince of the Church, washing immigrants' feet because that is what it is to be a good person. The cudgel of good person is just as applicable to the church as anybody else in Western society.
yes. I mean, I'm not against Christianity or anything like that. I'm in favor of it, even though I'm an atheist. But I can't help but notice that Jesus gathered a coalition of outsiders. Like, that's all the left have done.
You ignorant slut.
And if this guy is an outsider, I don't know what he is.
Yeah.
And Lord Metalman, yeah, Scotland decided to take on a lot of migrants thanks to the SNP, and our cities being made into towns of sanctuary, aka like sanctuary cities in USA. Just the other day, a migrant went naked into a primary school in Glasgow.
Yeah, isn't that incredible?
The fuck?
Yeah, he's mental health problem, I imagine.
Holy shit, this is real.
Yeah.
Man who exposed himself at Glasgow Primary School to appear in... yes!
You're not a bigot, are you, Arch?
Does anyone remember... Is this... So... a naked 20-year-old man just walked into a primary school, I guess.
In Scotland, where the place is to be naked.
Yeah, no, I don't think this was by accident. It tends to be rather nippy out, I'd imagine.
Well, it is summer. It's probably not that cold, but still.
Fucking mental health. Okay. Right. This actually dovetails quite nicely into the next topic I want to talk about broadly. So, I'm sure you've heard America has had another incident.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Which I believe two have now been confirmed dead. The rest are expected to recover, so that's something at least.
Thank God, yeah.
And a lot of people have been talking about this because the individual in question was transgender.
Mm.
And you see all of the usual takes. There was a whole manifesto, which I'm hesitant to show parts of on YouTube, to put it mildly.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, I looked into this, and the person just seems to be mental.
Yes.
Like there's no coherent ideology or philosophy. They're just insane.
Yes. They seem to be just fucking crazy because I can probably show this. I'll take the risk on this because there's apparently edubs, which is a misspelling of idubs.
Really?
Yeah, apparently. The gun was also covered in things like 6 million was not enough, incoherent gobbledygook from left and right both.
Ready to run
Yeah.
this yellow mare's
Like Ted
fluttery
Kaczynski was
flutter
right
with
and stuff like that, and then like there was Adam Lanza or something like that, like other school shooters. But it's like, okay, but these aren't like left wing or right wing, and like it just completely contradictory nonsense.
Yes.
And so I think this person's just mad and has spent too much time on the internet.
Yeah. And of course, right now everybody's warring over whose side
Are
he's
you
on.
ready to
You've got
run
the
this
left
yellow
going,
mare's
they're
fluttery
right
flutter
wingers who
with
didn't like Trump because there was also kill Trump on
Oh
the
yeah,
gun,
he
I
said
believe,
fuck
as well.
Trump. Yeah, kill Trump. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And obviously the right too is pointing out that he's a blue-haired trans individual who writes in his manifesto, the world just needs more love. Chick.
I mean, prove him wrong, Arch. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, he's right. I just don't like the way he's going about it, I suppose. And I think Andy No is closest to the ball here, really. Where he's pointing out that there is something permissive that is allowing this to happen. Because when you're crazy, when you're just a fucking nutter, and you know you're going to do this, your id, your identity will still look for an excuse. Even the maddest batshit insane man in the world thinks he's doing something correct.
Yeah.
This is just how your brain naturally protects itself. And there is definitely a wing of politics that speaks about a lot of violence, but is never called out for it.
Oh, really? Is it? Is it on Reddit?
I believe so.
Yeah.
And so this is closest to the truth, I believe. And I'm even going to have to challenge the avatar of the normies here for a moment.
Oh, not Asmongold.
As he gives... This is why
Our
I call
boy.
him the avatar of the normies, because this is exactly the normal opinion. Anyone trying to play the blame game when a shooting happens says which side the shooter was and is fucking retard. Read the comments, the manifesto, they're not right or left-wing, they're insane. These people transcend politics and operate in the realm of psychoses. That is...
I think that's
Yeah,
a good take.
That is the average take. That is the normal take. But then we must ask the fucking question. Okay, fair enough. But why?
How did he get away with it?
Yeah, why did a man in an obvious state of mental distress be allowed to walk about free until he did this?
How was he able to buy guns?
Yeah. What movement backs this up? What movement provides the justification for this? What movement says, no, we can't stop him before he's done something?
What condition was recently deregistered as a mental health problem?
Yes. What group may have removed him from the list of people we would normally help?
Yeah.
That answer does have a side, though.
Yeah,
Because
it
again,
does. And that's,
we talked about the answer to this just last week. The answer is asylums.
yes. People with mental health problems should be in asylums. It's not controversial or even complex.
And everybody knows this too. I love this as well. Tell me a single thing the right is going to make mental health care more accessible. Asylums. Correct.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone's going to get to go to one, trust me.
Asylums have gotten this bad reputation. And I get it. I understand. I get it. Taking away people's liberties, bad, blah, blah, blah. But there are actually mental issues. Like, you can't... Mental health care is just... It's a magical fucking stick that is constantly evoked. Oh, we just need more mental care. There are people out there that you can't fix.
But this also, it gets worse, right? Because, like, you'll get someone who does something fucking atrocious. absolutely atrocious. And then they'll be like, oh, this is a mental health issue, therefore he can't go to jail. It's like, oh, so he's back on the street. Is he? Right. So, like, if he wasn't mad, he would have gone to jail forever. But because he's mad, he's not getting any jail time at all, and he's back on the street.
Yeah.
That's not exactly the solution, is it? That doesn't fix anything, does it?
It doesn't. And again, when we don't have a means of prevention, when we know the guy is crazy, he's got all of the signifiers, visual and everything, and we're just like, well, I'll do anything about it.
Trick or treat.
You gotta wait till he kills someone before you can do something.
Yeah. It literally is like the concerned parent calls up the police, like, my child is fucking insane, he's got a gun. Well, call us back when he shoots up a school.
You ignorant slut.
It's terrible. It's just really terrible.
What the left fails to understand is that asylums are a part of mental care.
Yeah. And not only that, they're a part of preventing tragedies.
Yes. There's a brilliant example of this from my own beloved Norway, as always. The paragon of perfection that it is. And it surrounds homelessness, right? Because homelessness is a terrible thing. We should be able to help the homeless. Everybody agrees. We have a huge system in Norway to help the homeless. If you are homeless, there are offices you can go to who will give you a home, who will just give it to you. That's it. You just need to go there and tell them, I live on the street. They will give you an apartment. Just like that. There are still homeless people in Norway. Yeah. Now, they make up like a 0.1% of the population. The number is tiny, but there are some people who just can't live like a normal person, who genuinely want, even if they don't want to be on a like understanding level, they can't exist in an apartment. They can't live in a home. They live on the street, and they will choose to live on the street even when given a home to live in.
Yeah. 100%. Like,
and
again,
there's
we act like everyone is the same, but it's just not true.
Yeah. There is no fixing this. At the very least, we haven't discovered the correct combination of drugs or electroshock therapy or whatever. And so it just is what it is. And the same is the case. Now, maybe, in the case of this shooter, maybe he actually could have been helped. Entirely possible. He had a great deal of very vivid hallucinations, to put it mildly.
Yeah.
But again, if he colors his hair bright blue and calls himself Madam, well, that's not a mental health condition, so...
Yeah, what's weird about him, bro?
Yeah. You're not transphobic, are you? That's a crime.
Yeah. You're getting fired now, you freak.
So, we come back to, the politics of the person is irrelevant because he's fucking insane. But the politics of the system that allowed him to go to a school with a weapon is still relevant.
Yes. Completely correct.
And this is the problem with the politician response too. Minneapolis Democratic mayor going, people say transgenderism is mental illness after transgender shot up Catholic Church. Anyone using this to villainize our trans community lost their sense of community, common humanity. Okay. Sure. All right then, Jacob. It's not his transgenderism. Why did he do it then? Why a Catholic school, Jacob?
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I hate Jews. I hate Israel. Like 6 million more. Let me go shoot up a Catholic school. Well, okay. Weird.
Yeah.
And he like did target practice on a picture of Jesus and stuff like this. Like, look, I don't think this guy's consistent. You know what I mean? Like, I think he might be mad.
I think he might be mad.
I did see the press making sure they didn't misgender him though.
Yep.
So that's progressive.
I literally saw a meme about that. Hey, did you see what he did? Excuse me, she? Oh, yeah, she shot up a school.
Yeah. Fucking-
So long as we make
Incredible.
sure we dot our I's, I guess.
Yeah.
Hmm. Catch up on a few more of the super chats before I get overwhelmed again. Artemis Fowl. Oh, Buckingham. By the way, Sargon, I view James Lindsay as the priest who refused to help and only served to obstruct the people who try to fix a problem. As he describes them, he will watch Rome burn with a smile.
Oh yeah, that's literally what James Lindsay is arguing. Like, he's like, don't do anything, bro. Just trust your government. And it's like, what? They've literally just declared that the rights of the migrants are more important than mine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, James just doesn't know anything about the situation in Britain. And so he's pontificating from this position of profound ignorance and making himself look like a fucking idiot.
The Brits are well aware that the enemy is the current government. Don't worry about
Yeah.
that.
And he keeps saying something like, "Oh well, Britain's sovereign. What are you complaining about?" It's like the state, right? And it's not just. It doesn't matter what government occupies the state. It is the state itself that is the issue. It is the quangocracy. It is the human rights laws, the regime of human rights. All of that has to be overthrown.
Dolben, all fighting age single males, I'm assuming, should be shipped back. Yes.
We shouldn't be. Men shouldn't be refugees. It just shouldn't be possible for men to be refugees.
River Norse, decades of female influence on politics and policy. Their self-deleting empathy, along with globalist liberalism, creating the situation of today, then asking to be saved from what they created. Yeah, it does grind the gears a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Boycott Whatever Plus, I agree. Watch this space. The girls are clearly chavs and the story is changing. It's clearly an urban youth thing.
The thing is, I've seen videos of this guy's Instagram where he runs around posing like a gangster.
Heresy's the
Like,
question.
maybe.
Fire is the
I don't know.
answer.
So, like, either way, don't get these people out of my fucking country. And literally, they were like, "Oh, he's not a migrant." It's like, "Oh, isn't he?" No, he's been in the country 4 years.
Oh!
What? Sorry, did the definition of migrant change?
Oh shit, he's a native then. He's been in contact with the
Yeah.
magic soil for at least 4 years.
Like, that. And then, and his Instagram's full of, like, these gangster rap shit and, like, gangster poses videos and stuff. It's like, I don't want this fucking guy here, even if he was trying to help, right? Fucking tired of this.
Listen, I even like rap when it's good, but I'm leaning towards just criminalizing it again, okay? This is the point where I'm agreeing with Sargon Sensoria's attitude. I've grown to hate rap music.
I hate rap. I'm not saying censor him, I'm saying deport him.
I'm saying censor it, unless it meets my standards of good rap.
Oh, right. Okay.
I shall be the arbiter on this. Casey Yeager, hey guys. Carl, I finished Islander 4 the other day and thought it was excellent. Also, that video you did yesterday about African time was one of the most fascinating things I've watched in a minute. Keep riding the tiger, lads.
Right? It wasn't that
Heresy's the
interesting.
question.
Who
Fire
could
is
have
the
imagined?
answer.
So, I wanted to talk about that one as well in the context of a different story that came up, right?
Okay.
So, I'll show this to chat so that chat can be primed because there is. Oh god!
Yeah, we can watch it. It's fascinating.
We received one of the best examples of what she's talking about just a couple days ago. So let's see here.
Vast, endless past where. What if I told you that for many African societies, the concept of the future doesn't exist, and that instead of time moving forwards, time actually moves backwards? This was the work of John Mbiti, one of Kenya's and Africa's greatest.
What if I told you time moves backward? I think I'd look at you like you were fucking insane.
Mate, look how confident she is.
Yeah.
She's figured this out and she's going to explain to us. I agree. Yeah.
Time moves backward. Roger.
philosophers, and in 1969 he wrote something that completely reimagines the way we think of African time. Mbiti says time is a two-dimensional phenomenon with a long past, vibrant present, and virtually no future.
Africa's leading philosopher says that time has no future.
I mean, from their own perspective, you can kind of see how they get there. But it's like, okay, but in reality, you can predict things in the future.
Yeah, like I get from a sniffing my own farts philosophical perspective.
Yeah.
But I also vehemently object. Okay.
Using Swahili words, he describes the two dimensions of time. The first one being sasa, the now, the recent past, and the immediate future which can be experienced. The second dimension is zamani. Zamani is
the thing is, just extend the concept of the immediate future that can be experienced. That's all future. Like, the immediate future, say tomorrow, that can be experienced. Okay, but what about the day after? Oh yeah, that will happen. Yeah, I know. And then the day after that, and then extend that principle for 5 or 10 years, and suddenly you can see why it's worth upkeeping infrastructure.
The vast, endless past will eventually go on to live forever.
Yeah.
Vast, endless past, where all events eventually go on to live forever. But the future, in African thought, it barely exists.
Time made up events, time had to be experienced in order to be real. Made up events, time has to be experienced in order to be. I mean, again, I get your point, but I don't think that's. I don't think that's the argument.
But also, like, it suggests a lack of imagination, right?
Are you ready to
Yeah,
like
a lack of capacity, I guess, because you have to experience for it to be real. No, I can imagine right now what it'll be like in an hour when I get up to get food. I can imagine tomorrow what I'm going to do tomorrow. Hell, I can imagine what I'll do probably in a week from now and so on.
Yeah. But also, like, there are things that happen in your life that are real but you don't necessarily experience. Right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, right, so are they not real? It's like, you do concede that, like, I can't think of offhand example, but like, you know that there are things that happen that are real that you don't personally experience.
Yeah, and we affix things in the future. Like, we make plans, promises for the future. Like Rubber Legs, who talked about how he was going to get married. Okay, well, you'll be engaged for a period of time, but you're still going to get married, presumably.
Yeah.
Planning.
Because time is made up of events. Time has to be experienced in order to be
okay,
real.
there we go. Right. Time is made up of events. This is where the interesting bit comes in. Because now you basically get into her, like, Odyssey view, the Iliad view, where it's like, we live in deeds, not days. And it's like, okay, that's good for you. But, like, you kind of lose a lot of things when you live like that.
Yes. Cannot constitute.
Because we can't conceptualize events tied to the distant future because they haven't been experienced yet, then therefore the future cannot constitute part of time.
Right, there we go. We can't conceptualize the distant future.
Because this really does come back to literally the meme, isn't it? There's a hole in my roof. I don't fix it on sunny days because it's sunny. And when it's raining, it's wet, so I don't want to work.
It's too wet to work, yeah. But isn't that we can't conceptualize the far future. I believe you. I'm not going to doubt you.
Because you haven't experienced it raining tomorrow, you are just living in, well, it's sunny now, so I don't need to fix the roof.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
Fucking remarkable, isn't it?
And this is why, according to Mbiti, African languages, at least the East African Bantu languages that he studied, don't have a word to describe the distant future.
Now, there's the most interesting part, too, because don't have a word for the future.
Just like they don't have a word for maintenance.
And because that also tells us that this isn't a philosophical thing. This isn't an ideas thing. This has got to be something more fundamental, because surely at some point, I mean, farmers, hunters, people who rely on migration events like of birds, beasts, whatever for hunting, surely they must have been able to think, hey, I need to sow the ground for next year. Right?
I mean, well, she does say we literally can only think to like the next year. Actually,
Okay. Right, well, so at least there is some future.
and it's based on the nature of farming. Actually,
In African time, according to Mbiti, events create time. Seasons, ceremonies, a conversation, those
Events create time. That has got to be the most ass backwards thing I've ever heard in my fucking life.
the thing is, I kind of understand where she's coming from, but like again, it really is like the kind of view that people had 5,000 years ago, right? Because what that is kind of like it's very personal and cause and effect, right? So like, yeah, a thing has popped up in front of my face. I'm going to deal with it, and therefore something happened, time happened, and that's the only way I can conceive of it. Like there was an example I read about ages ago. Like at some point in ancient Greece, like 600 BC, like there'd been some sort of property dispute, and carved on a wall were the words, "This dispute has been settled for 100 years hence," but no date was written down. So when is the end?
Trick or treat.
Like, and it doesn't matter, right? The end doesn't matter. It's just like, right, if the event has happened and now it is settled, right? And then 100 years later, everyone's dead, so no one knows.
I guess, yeah.
moments produce time, and people produce as much time as they need. An
What? No, but that too is very. People create as much time as they need. Therefore, there is no time. There's no reason for haste. There's no reason for impetus. You don't have to You don't have to fix the roof today. You have as much time as you require to fix the roof.
Well, why did you create so much time that you grew old? Stop
Yeah,
creating
exactly.
time.
Now your knees hurt and you can't mount the ladder. Now what?
Yeah. What was the point of that? Why did you do it?
example that Mbiti uses from the
Well, I guess that kind of flips back to the idea. You can't imagine yourself at a time when
Being
your
old.
knees hurt so much you can't climb the ladder.
Yeah, can't conceptualize the far future.
communities that he studied is that a year is measured based on 4 seasons, 2 dry seasons, 2 wet seasons. So a year is only over when those 4 seasons have taken place. So a year could take 365 days, 390 days. It doesn't matter the number of days in a year. What matters is that the 4 seasons have taken place.
Right, there we go. So the perspective is very
Trick
first
or
person,
treat.
right?
Can I smell your feet?
Like what is happening to the person. It is currently the wet season. That's what matters. It's currently the dry season. That's what matters. Anything around that is a bit irrelevant.
Yeah.
And this is in contrast to the Western view towards time, where time is a commodity, something that can be spent, saved, wasted, or lost. And according to Mbiti, this is why if foreigners come to Africa and they see people sitting under a tree, they would remark that, okay, why are these people wasting so much time? But in African thought, that sitting under a tree, it's not wasting time. It's either waiting for time or producing time.
Producing time.
No, it makes perfect sense. Because if time means events, you are producing events by just being present. So eventually
waiting
something
for
will happen.
event.
Yeah, we call it waiting, but she calls it producing because the event itself is where time comes from. So when something happens, he'll be like, oh yeah, I made that happen by being here.
God.
It's genius when you think about it, huh?
This is again that that fucking Protestant thing where, like
know.
Westerners go, like, okay, I could sit underneath the tree, or I could use this hour for literally anything else.
Well, you can see why cultures have different levels of material accomplishment, right?
Yeah. One person climbs the tree to fetch the fruit, the other just sits there until the fruit ripens and plops into his hand.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Yes. But what I like about the Western view, the way she's like, right, so because we mastered time through the use of the clock, right? So what we did is we carved up every minute of every hour into a predictable,
I have
reliable amount of distance, right? So it's the same for everyone, and everyone gets exactly the same amount. And so this means that every day you have 24 hours to spend. You can do things, and because you can conceive of the future happening, and because you both have a shared amount of time in the day, you can agree to do things with people to make other things happen, to build and progress and create riches and whatever else. So you can actually spend time in the way that
Iris
she's
is the
conceiving of it as a
question. Fire is
resource
the
that
answer.
that is accessible to you. No, for them to spend time, they have to wait around all fucking day. It's literally what she's saying. You have to wait there to gain time. It's like, no, we don't have to. We have the time already in advance, and then we spend it as we choose.
Yeah, I guess that is the big divide. On the one
Yeah.
hand, you simply know that you have X amount of
Trick or
time,
treat.
whereas the African
Nice
view is
on
like
your
the
feet.
time isn't even there. You make it by being, I guess.
Yeah, because nobody else has a coherent division of time, right? If the Africans had this predictable 24 hours to slice up, and everyone knew, and everyone could predict when other people's
Trick
time
or
was,
treat. Can I
then
suck on
yeah,
your
you'd be able to
feet?
be completely like, oh, right, I can spend this then. This is now a resource I have access to. But if it's not, and other people don't have access to the time you have, then it's not a resource. Then it's just like everyone has to sit around. I have to just wait until time happens. It's like, okay, I'm glad I don't live in that culture.
For me, I think this Western idea of time as a commodity is what drives this Western obsession of progress, development, and some promised future. And this difference shapes
She said
everything.
on the internet into a fucking iPhone.
Yep.
Yes, she's right though. She's absolutely right. Like, she's completely correct. She says on her iPhone.
Yep. Yeah, no, the understanding that we have a finite amount of time and need to use it wisely is absolutely why we. God, this actually is quite eye opening.
Yes.
From politics, economics, to how we live our daily lives. Because in African thought, the golden age isn't in the future, it's actually in the Zaman.
How depressing is that?
Like, this reminds me of there's a Spanish term called manana, which translates into tomorrow, right? But demonstrating the Spanish and not truly white, it doesn't mean tomorrow. It means
at some point in the future.
Yes, exactly. It means at some
I
point
know?
in the future.
How did I know? Like, honestly, the Catholics and their work
You
ethic, man.
ignorant slut.
And this is one of those things that just baffles the Western mind. I have relatives who like live in Spain on their old age, and this is the one thing every single one of them always complain about, because they'll make an appointment, right, where there'll be a person who will be by to look at whatever needs fixing, like the fridge is acting up. Okay, I'll be there manana. And so they wait around the whole next day.
The next day, yeah.
Nobody shows, and they call them like, where were you? Oh, I told you. I'd be there at some point in the future.
Fucking the Spaniards are on African time.
Trick or treat. Can I smell your feet?
And
It's everything, doesn't it?
it's a utterly foreign concept to the West. It's alien. It doesn't even compute.
It's alien to the Protestant mind, but it explains the entire universe outside of northwestern Europe. Why are all of these other countries shit and poor?
God damn it. Settler Rex, fun fact, every individual ape thinks that it is the only one with thoughts in the world. They never think to ask any other apes their opinion because they can't comprehend anyone else has them. Do what you will with this.
I have lost.
Well, this was a part of the Righteous Mind where he tried to explain why humans were different from animals, and one of the things was that apes were unable to cooperate to solve a common task, like pulling down a tree so another one can pick bananas off it.
Yeah. Just like the average Spaniard.
Exactly, just like the average Spaniard. I've never seen a Spaniard hold down a banana tree for another Spaniard.
Happen Banana or whatever it's called.
According to Betty, the future is only a shadow until it comes to the present, and then it flows into the Zamani. So in that way, time moves.
Yeah, okay, the future is only a shadow, but you know that shadow is going to become the present.
Yeah, I can form that shadow.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
The person who made your iPhone formed that shadow.
Yeah.
We are not the ones moving forward in time.
These cultures don't have written languages either. So, like, they needed other cultures to be able to transmit that knowledge to her.
I think this is a brilliant thing too.
Backwards. We are not the ones who move forward into time.
That too. That is a thought of just abject surrender, isn't it?
Yeah.
I cannot affect the future, so I'm going to sit under my tree and wait for the fruit to drop.
Yeah. And that's what I mean about being very first personal, right? Like, it's like you're just sat there at the mercy of an incomprehensible universe. And it's just like, oh, okay, well, then we just wait, I guess.
Yeah.
What are our options?
That is bizarre.
I know, right?
So simultaneously, they are both like the center of the universe and completely helpless before it.
Yes.
Yes.
And moreover, it is incomprehensible because it's going backwards.
Yeah,
Like, if it was
Service
going forwards,
guarantees
if there was a
service.
logical sequence that it was going through, like linearly, you'd be like, okay, I can predict what's coming next. But as far as they're concerned, the African is like facing behind and walking backwards, so he never knows what's. Oh, look, and then another event has just happened. Well, that was interesting. That's into the Zamani now. Oh, another one's happened. Oh, that's into the Zamani now. Oh God, I don't know what I'm doing here. Like that's what she's describing.
I guess that is how they view linear time, though. Instead of viewing linear time forward in the future, they simply look at the events of the past. But the problem then becomes, okay, you know the events of the past, thus you should be able to some degree predict the events of the future. Surely.
Well, imagine you're playing Doom and the forward key doesn't work. Only the back, left, and right keys work. That's what she's describing.
I suppose.
No, literally. It's like you're just running it. It's like an imp goes past you and now you can shoot it, but it's already been slashing at you. And right, now I can shoot the thing. You can't face forward and predict it in advance. You've got to wait until whatever it does hits you, and then you can respond to it.
I mean, I guess, but I find it seems so absurd that if you give the past so much consideration, surely you must then be able to establish patterns and apply those patterns to the likely future.
What do you know?
What do I know? The future is unknowable, uncertain.
Yeah.
So, of course, Mbiti wrote this from a theological point of view because he was trying to explain the nature of African religion. But my main takeaway from the parts of the book that I've read is that unlike Western cultures and religions with end-of-the-world myths, African time has no end. Seasons, years, birth, marriage, death, it's all a cycle. Asante kwa kutazama, tafakari hayo, and I'll see you in the next video.
I love it. I believe they're going to be like this forever too.
Hey, that's the
She's like-
problem, though, because that's actually a good point. We have myths of the end. Yes, it is to tell us we have limited time. If you want to achieve something before the Fenris wolf fucking eats you, you gotta do it now.
No, it's going to be like this forever, Arch. Trust her. Take her word for it. It's going to be like this forever.
And that is why it is like this forever. That is why
Yeah, it is.
generations live in the mud hut.
100%. And conceiving of not living in the mud hut is something that's just not in their vocabulary.
Fire is the answer.
It's impossible. The mud hut has always been here.
What do you mean, not the mud hut? That doesn't make sense.
That's fucking absurd.
I have lost. Shit.
Well, there we go.
And Rebelix63, on my marriage, from first meeting to wedding is basically 6 months. Well, it seems short, we were able to look into the future and decide together that it was better for us to be married sooner rather than wait a year. What is this future of which you speak?
Yeah, I don't think you thought that through, have you?
Yeah. I mean, your pattern is only 6 months long, so how will this work? That is genuinely difficult to fully
Ignorant slut.
compute this here.
Fucking amazing.
But okay, so the story, this is actually from a while ago. It was popping up in the news recently. Was this: 4 Nigerians rescued in Brazil survived 14 days on a ship's rudder. So here we have a bunch of Nigerians on a ship's rudder. And there are so many things I love to point out, because this explains exactly the inability to predict anything. You see this? This is the fucking waterline of the boat!
Okay, so they're on a ship rudder,
Mhm.
and they just sit on there for 14 days
Yes,
with no food or water and no plan.
no plan. They brought basic rations, I must assume, otherwise they'd be dead.
I mean, how did they sleep?
But they didn't.
Jesus.
So, first and foremost, they can see the boat. There should be things like, why is the color different? Why is there more erosion here? Why is that part painted red? What is this thing denoting depth on the side of the boat? What are these things? There's every indicator this part of the ship is designed to be submerged.
But how were they underwater, you say?
No,
So what happened? How did
they
they
got
not go underwater?
fucking ridiculously lucky. That's what happened.
Well, if that's designed to be is it when it's full of cargo?
Yes, it's the load of it.
Right. I don't know anything about ships.
It's load and weather as well. Like, if
Right,
they'd
right.
hit a bad patch
yeah.
of weather, they'd be fucked.
Well, yeah.
And so they see this boat in the harbor and go, that's our ticket to the west. That's how we get to
Brazil?
Europe.
Fucking Brazil.
Yes, because they didn't check where the ship was headed. They didn't check. They were just like, it's a giant boat. It's made of metal. That's clearly a Western ship. And then 2 weeks later, this guy, Polizia Federale, fucking comes up. Like, hi there. Welcome to Brazil. Like, this demonstrates, like, and you'll see as well. They didn't bring like anything to fasten themselves with. They don't have rope or anything. They don't have anywhere to store anything. They were literally just living on this fucking rudder for 2 weeks. And just imagine that too. Deciding to yourself, I'm going to sit on a ship's rudder exposed to the elements for however long it takes me to reach the promised land.
I'm gonna find something.
I have lost. Shit.
That's utter insanity. That explains their impulsive tendency. No future. Yeah. There's no future.
I've got the perfect fucking interview. I'm just gonna find it. Hang on.
There's no conceptualization of the 2 weeks of abject fucking misery. They gave it into you afterwards. They were like, oh yeah, it really sucked. Like sometimes the rudder would move. And we couldn't really sleep because if we slept, we'd fall off.
You ignorant slut.
Sorry, keep going. I'm gonna find this thing.
Yep.
It's so funny. It's so funny.
I don't. Oh, Lord Metalman, update on the migrant who harassed the Dundee knife and hatchet girl. Apparently he's been on TikTok boasting about how much cash he's made from the UK pussy while showing stacks of cash, possibly a pimp.
Yeah. So, like, you know, weird how he's approaching 12-year-olds.
Well, I wouldn't even grant him the title of pimp. At least a pimp talks his women into it. This, I think, might have something more to do with force, or enslavement, as they like to call it in the Middle East.
Well, yeah.
Sentinel Rex, look up the 15-second noir theory. I don't know what that is.
Oh, 15-second African. Yeah. So, basically, I'm sure I've got it around.
I have lost.
Friend sent it to me. Yeah, 'cause it was just, oh no.
The Dodger UK, Sargon, a guy who says you not earn any inheritance as parent did. Did that guy ever get any Christmas present from parents? Cause he not earn that money. Inheritance tax?
Yeah, Lewis Goodall was like, yeah, we should have 100% inheritance tax, bro. There's
How about no?
the 15-second African theory. Read that out. Feel free to read that out while I'm looking for this.
15-second African. Don't laugh, I've talked about this since I first read it back in July. It makes more sense the more I think about it. Time does not exist to the African. There is only the present, the now. A copy elves do not run. I will, in the future, shoot. This phrase is meaningless to the African.
Well, literally, that's what that woman was telling us.
Yeah, he has 2 choices. Be detained by the cop or run and be free. That the cop will start shooting 5 seconds into the future is incomprehensible to the African. Africans are living in a science fiction parallel universe where there is no continuity, with themselves 15 seconds into the future. As a white man, you think you are still 15 seconds in the future, not so to the African. The African sees no relations to himself 15 seconds in the future. It is a completely different person. Their interests are unrelated, if not opposed.
This is literally what she was telling us. We cannot conceive of the future. We have no words to conceive of the future.
Once you understand that an African cares as much about himself 15 seconds into the future as you do about some random African, all of a sudden, all African decisions make sense. Why go into obscene amounts of debt for some chrome rims? Because some other random African will have to pay it back instead of you. Why rape some random white girl? Some other random African will go to jail, not you. Africans are literally free of all consequence for their actions, as they've broken the cause-effect chain through African magic.
Checkmate. Colonizer.
There you go, yes, yeah.
So
Being an African is like reliving Groundhog Day forever, but in 15 seconds clips.
But this is why the African woman going, he didn't do anything. Well, I mean, in a way, that kind of true.
Kind of true.
I couldn't find that Victoria Derbyshire clip I was looking for. But she's interviewing some channel migrant, this 20-year-old Ghanaian man, who's just like, oh yeah, no, I had to get to Britain because I thought it'd be really nice there, basically. She's like, but you were taking such a risk. Didn't you think about it? He's like, nah. And she's like 70 years old, 65 years old woman, English woman. And like he's some 20-year-old Ghanaian man, and she just has no theory of mind for him. And so she has no idea what he thinks. She has no idea why he's doing what he does. And she is just baffled. Like she's trying to, she wants to play it like, oh, were you in danger? She's like, no, I'm not in danger. He's basically saying it'd be a great adventure, and I really wanted the riches that come from it. Not thinking that he could have died. I mean, he was lucky and didn't, but like, she just couldn't understand him.
But I think in that case, we've actually discovered the one
I have
thing
lost. Shit.
that the African can envision for his own future. Other people's stuff.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
that's true. Like, because
Yeah.
okay, you could stay in Ghana and build a farm and become a landowner. You can employ dozens of your fellow Ghanans and build yourself a grocery empire, but that would require planning for the future.
Trick or treat.
Yeah.
Can I
That would
smell
require
your
like
feet?
buying seeds, hiring farmers, planning out crop rotation. All of that requires planning. Whereas I shall simply go to Europe and be rich. That doesn't really require a plan.
Well, I've seen another green text about this from some guy who lived in Africa, and he was like, they wonder why we're hoarding the resources, and like, why is it everywhere the white man goes he's rich? He must have chosen the rich areas to go live in those. And it's like, there's no cause and effect. It's not that we make these areas rich. That's not how they think. They think that we somehow lucked into. I mean, like if you look at like natural resources, Northwestern Europeans are not exactly blessed with incredible natural resources.
Oh, right.
If you lived in Africa, you got all the fucking resources you'll ever need, bro. Like theoretically, anyway.
This then delves into the magical soil theory that a lot of them
Yes.
have. That England has always been a land of uncounted plenty. That blasted hellscape of marshy, windswept rock and rain is just heaven on earth. When mana falls from the heavens.
Whilst living in Africa.
Yes.
Where literally every resource you could possibly need is already present in ridiculous abundance because nobody in previous generations mined it. Like Wales used to be full of gold, but the Romans mined it all out, right?
Oh, this is one of the hilarious things. Like, there was a period of time where mining consisted of, like, shovels and digging. There still is in Africa. That's why there was such an enormous boom, where you could actually extricate rare and valuable resources, even metals and minerals, with picks and shovels. We exhausted that in the fucking BCs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, long ago.
That seems to be it. Like the way that the African mind conceives of the future it's riches of other people, I guess. Literally other people's stuff. What the?
Yeah, he just knows that England is where the riches are, right?
And the worst part is he then comes to England, and it's true. As there on the beach stands a council member going, "Here's your free flat.
Oh, here's your free iPhone. Here's some money."
Yeah. You'll be given a monthly stipend.
Oh god, it's fucking insufferable.
Would you happen to would you like to live near a preschool, or are you into older chicks?
I remember when I was reading about Rwanda, reading an account of this Rwandan farmer. He farms bananas, right? The banana plantations are a massive thing there. And he was obviously smarter than the average Rwandan. So he was like, oh, right, so if I don't spend all my money and I actually buy like extra seeds or whatever, then I'll get extra bananas and I'll make more money. And so this is what he did for a few seasons. And then he had enough to buy a house. And so he bought himself a nice house. And then all of the people in his village were like, oh, you're stealing from us.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? He's like, but you've got a big house. How did you afford that big house? You must be stealing from her. And so eventually he just gave it up and went back to subsistence farming like everyone else.
Of
Because
course.
they were convinced that somehow he was stealing their money because he was making wealth.
And it makes complete sense. You fucker. I remember your mud hut. It's in the past. I can identify that. How did you get that big house, you thief?
Like, it's all fucking witchcraft, man. And it's just like, right, okay. All right.
And
Mad, isn't it?
There's got to be degrees of this as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because you remember the Indian driver. There's now a massive petition for giving him a more lenient punishment, right?
Yeah. His
And
boy didn't do nothing.
yeah, like on the one hand, okay, the Indian drivers who just want to get to their destination, who don't care, who drives very selfishly, that is an example of this looking to the past pre-time, no ability to plan ahead. But this is then combined with this intriguing sense of sort of communal, shared, I don't even know, responsibility, but in the reverse. Because all of the petition, I watched through dozens of these, all of them are basically the same thing. They all say it was a terrible mistake, like clockwork.
Yeah.
It was like they're reading, all of them are reading from the exact same hymn sheet.
Yep.
But the punishment for the terrible mistake is too much.
Well, it's not hanging, you know. But yeah, no, I saw these videos as well, and it's really interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
How it's what I find about it is a weird lack of dignity. Like, take ownership. You
Service
take
guarantees
responsibility for
citizenship.
what you fucking did. You did something terrible and killed 3 people, and the entire culture of these people is basically, he doesn't have to take responsibility for it, though. It's like, okay, but that's why. Like, I've seen loads of other videos of Indian truck drivers since then, by the way.
Yes.
But if you have a culture where no one takes any responsibility, then what kind of country do you end up with?
Yeah. And the very idea as well, it was a terrible mistake. Like, 2 people, oh no, I think it was 3.
3 died. Yeah.
3 people dead. Like, their head is fucking annihilated on the side of a truck. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
wow, that was a terrible mistake.
Don't make mistakes like that, bro.
That's, it's, and again, like, if there was one person who said that, I would just point at that person like, you're mental.
Yeah.
But it's all of them from the fucking hymn shit. Terrible mistake, terrible mistake, terrible mistake. No. He killed 3 people by not even bothering to check in the fucking mirror as he turned his truck sideways on a highway.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Right? He intended to do that. If he didn't intend to turn, okay, fair enough. But he did intend to do it. Right? It wasn't a mistake. He's just really fucking selfish.
And he intended to carry it out in that way as well. Like, okay, if this was a white guy and he was capable of viewing 15 seconds into the future and he really needed to take that turn, it's like, okay, I have to take this turn. You stop the truck, you put on the blinker, you check the mirror, you wait until the coast is clear.
Right. Okay. Right. Everything that you're saying here is, it requires regard for other people. Right? You're thinking that person cares about the people around him. But the thing is, and I saw this guy on Twitter called Brick, who's an Indian guy, and he's like, right, yeah. So Westerners don't understand, right? Indians don't do this, right? They don't have regard for others, which is why in India, there are 10 times more road deaths than any Western European country.
But this actually tails back beautifully into the Manana, or the Zawari, or whatever time. As you can't do that, because if you stop the truck, well, what's going to happen? You don't know. There could be an endless stream of cars. You might never turn. Unless
Yeah.
you take the action to turn, you will never turn. And if
But-
what determines you taking the action is turning, then you might as well turn now. There's no difference between turning now and in 5 minutes
India-
when the road is clear.
I think India is different because what it is if you come from a culture where people just do not give consideration to the other people around them, and you're like, I need to turn, so I'll wait for someone to give way. Well, no one will ever give way.
That's true as well, yeah.
No one will ever give way. And so it's just like, well, obviously I'm just going to turn then, and damn the consequences.
Yeah.
I mean, there's literally no other option, frankly, in a culture like that. And so it's like, this is just the way that they are, and they're never going to change.
Hmm. Right. God. To move on from the depressing thing onto something even more depressing before we get to the super chats.
Go on, then.
Disco sent me this. City Council offers unsettled staff support over increased visibility of St. George and Union Jack flags.
Good.
The county council is
That means
offering
it's
support for
working.
its staff if they are upset by St. George and Union Jack flags.
That means it's working.
I mean, it is, but God, can you make it any more obvious that you are the occupational government?
Nope.
Because, yeah, no.
That means it's working.
If you're flying the Union Jack in India in the 1700s as 1,000 Indians are outside with pitchfork outside the house of the old villa or whatever, right?
Yeah.
The sight of the Indian flag would be disturbing to you.
Yes.
And that is exactly what's happening here. The occupational authorities see the English flag and go, that's not me. That is the symbol of anti-me.
Yes. That's 100%. And it's just to be clear, this is really widespread as well. Basically, everyone I know all across the country, like, oh yeah, this has popped up in my village. It's happened in mine. Like literally, there's a little crossing that I have to go across to take my kids to the park. That's been St. George flag. Like this is really widespread.
And I love this too. Is that... So the council says, we support people's right to fly the flag. We proudly fly St. George Cross outside the county hall, our headquarters in Chelmsford. Okay.
Oh, good.
I think that might be it.
Yeah.
Well, at least they have the flag up, but again, like, there's alongside 4 other flags at that point.
Yeah.
It's
But
such
no, it's
bizarre.
good that they're getting the message. Frankly.
If you're feeling unsettled or affected by what you're seeing, please don't hesitate to reach out. Occupational authorities will take care of its own.
Yep. Well, they've got to look after their actual charges.
Yeah, of course.
Like the British Indian government would absolutely say that to the British in India.
Oh, so insane. Right. Let's get on this then. Jesse Jinx, hey lads, hope you're well. Just the hands out. Heads up for you and the podcast, Carl. I believe there's an update to the Scottish lass. Can't confirm. There's more details, it seems. There were 3 girls. One was beaten and nearly abducted. It's Knife Axe Girl. Yes, I've heard that too, but I've also heard opposite, so it's a difficult one. Zinni, can this be dealt with and still have Britain remain liberal?
Sorry, say again.
Can this be dealt with and still have Britain remain liberal?
Why would we want to be liberal?
I was about to say, I don't know if that's the goal anymore.
Yeah, why would we care about an ideology? Why can't we just have a country that serves us?
The locks on doppelganger. Till fighting police is normalized, hell continues. 358, they will be catharsis, they will be violence. I hope not, but history suggests otherwise. Dreadnought Logan in France, that is a general strike organizing. I mean, when isn't there a strike in France?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's another day ending in Y.
France has been in a state of civil unrest for 250 years. It's just...
Yeah.
it's
Every day
just
is
France.
1789 in France. So,
That's just France. So, Lux and Doppelganger, UK must die on their feet or live on their knees. Oh. Told the Beagle, as an Irishman, I'm okay with the new Cromwell. Can you make sure he stays on your island this time? Last time didn't work out so well for us.
I can't imagine that anyone would be interested in going to Ireland these days. Because you're in exactly the same position as fucking we are. You also have a traitor government.
Sargon, I live in an extremely leftist part of the US and I've been flying the St. George flag from a flagpole attached to my Jeep out of sympathy. Only reaction yet was getting asked if I worked for the Red Cross. Well, you're in America. I guarantee if you ask the majority of the Americans what the English flag is, they'd identify the Union Jack.
Yeah, they wouldn't know.
I guarantee you. I guarantee to you.
I mean, a lot of Americans have been very, very sympathetic. Like Elon posting the fucking flag was a big deal, and everyone freaked out about it. It's like, good, keep freaking. The world's richest man is on our side, bitches.
Jafar the Blade. Like a rock going downhill, the longer you allow this to continue, the more force it requires to stop it. And remember, Carl, you can ignore reality. You can't ignore the consequences of reality.
Well, I'm well aware.
Dizzy Jinx. Oh, good. You're aware of all of the info going about. Didn't want to spread rumors. Just curious if you knew. It's all up in the air. Yep. Now, I am always very cautious around this, and I am not sure if the current move to lionize so quickly is the right move either, but I understand the sentiment.
Yeah, I've tried to avoid it too. Like, because we just don't know. And, you know, and at the end of the day, like, it's still emblematic of the problem, even if it's fictional. You know, the whole point of fiction being a representation of reality. Like, this is people's felt reality, even if this particular example is not correct.
Sentinel Rex. Say Nigel fails you, then what? Vote some more? One day families will have to accept the act despite the consequences, because the alternative is worse. Well, that is always the complicated question. See, I had a conversation with Dev over this the other day, about how, because Dev has gotten a pinch of the Trumpian derangement syndrome these days, and I put forth the argument that almost no matter what Trump does, it'll be worth it because he's been the pressure valve that has managed to release a lot of the pent-up problems in America. England thought it had a pressure valve in Boris Johnson and was brutally disabused of that idea. And there is no pressure valve. Like, reform is the closest thing, and Nigel Farage will almost certainly turn out to just be another career politician.
That is the fear.
Yeah. And all of the other pressure valves that have been available have been suppressed again and again. The Swedish Democrats in Sweden, entire coalitions have been formed against them again and again to keep them out of power. AfD in Germany, entire coalitions again and again. Marie Le Pen in France has been forbidden from running for office. All of those pressure valves are being actively shut down on.
Yeah.
America is lucky with fucking Trump, and I wish we had one too.
Yeah, same.
And so when Trump says he who saves his nation violates no laws, I mean, it's a pinch hyperbolic, but I see his point.
Yeah.
CWAL728. I, for one, would support a Lord Protector, Tommy R.
Well,
Lord Protector, bad man.
I mean, I don't want to abolish the monarchy or anything or overthrow the king, but like, I'm just really tired of how things are.
H.P. Lovecraft. Sargon, do you have any idea how indoctrinated the top brass in the British military are in the neoliberalist agenda? I'm curious.
Well, there are lots of conflicting reports that I've heard over the years. I imagine the very top brass are basically your average shitlib. But I've heard from the intermediate ranks that everyone's fucking furious. But who knows?
That tends to be the case. The further up the cakewalker ladder you go.
Yeah.
Mercenaries anyone? Carl, have a chat with Razorfist. I don't think either one would necessarily be opposed.
I'm a big fan of Razorfist.
Ben, read up on the Huri in Islam. They are describing like 10, 14-year-old white girls. The 72 brides promised to them. This is why they act this way. Seal Manning, Heinlein was a prophet in Starship Troopers. That's certainly looking like it.
No argument from me there.
Sinestro Corman, if a civil war does pop up in the UK, I wouldn't be surprised if the foreigners started after the government tries to undo their mistake last minute in a panic.
Nah, there's not going to be a civil war.
I hope not. I don't even know if it's possible to have one in the modern age.
There's no competing state. There's no power center in the state that wants to fight the state.
Jafar the Blade, even if you vote in a right-wing government, what's the plan 5 seconds after the Muslim pulls AKs from under their mosques? As far as they are concerned, the land you ceded is theirs. They will kill for it. Well, fortunately, the government is far larger than the Muslims, too. As in countries like Austria, where they are actually beginning to work on a separate but superior legal system, there is luckily no Islamic State in Europe yet. Alex Addison, just overthrow the government, bros. Some Americans can't comprehend any other worldview but their own. It's infuriating. Enough your choice. The Americans are spoiled, I tell you. They still have liberty and stuff. Ben, girls that age are theirs to take in their faith. And this is why, even though I will argue that Christianity has gotten unbearably cucked, it's still a fuckload better than the alternative. Scarf of the Strange, those with no property will ultimately find themselves as property. Guillermo Soler Perez, unless all the escalates high and hard enough, it will be forgotten within a week like every other bullshit that happened each week.
Sorry,
possibly, but I feel like we're beginning to hit higher temperatures now.
Say that again.
Unless all these escalates high and hard enough, it will be forgotten within a week like every other bullshit that happens each week.
Maybe. This is the thing with the flag thing. It's got sort of Gamergate vibes to it. Like Wales is getting in on it now.
Yeah, it feels more like a cultural move. Because the thing is, it has universal appeal.
Yeah, literally, the Welsh are getting them now, which is more difficult for them. Because how are you going to paint the Welsh flag on anything? Like the Welsh flag is an artistic representation of a dragon. That's a nightmare to paint on anything.
Yep. Whereas the English flag, very easy.
The English flag's nice and simple. But honestly, this genuinely feels like the beginning of Gamergate again. What I'm waiting for is that kind of flashpoint where, like, something happens and, that's it. Everyone's, morally in revolt. The thing is, I actually think that they're a bit afraid of this. When this started happening, Keir Starmer just backed down and said, oh, yeah, no, that's fine. Because I think that what they noticed is that this is a lot of potential energy that could be unleashed, and it's just not worth their fucking time to unleash it.
Of course.
Just let them put up the flags. That doesn't hurt anyone. If we fucking crack down on this, if the state comes out like it was at Southport and was like, oh, you're a bunch of bad people, which I know they think, but if they came out and said it, everyone would be like, right, that's it, it's on, And I think they realized wisely that this is not a battle they need to fight.
There's no winning move here from the government.
Yeah, not from them, yeah.
They can't keep spending money to fix it. They can't police it actively. They'll make too many enemies. And so they have, intelligently, like the tyrants they are, realized that the savages, the natives, are restless.
Yeah.
Let them have their idols.
Yeah, it's just not worth it.
Ben Mandry, Sargon, call me a retard or lib, I don't know. I want the best for your homeland. Try having raised fist on talk. He himself disagrees with you, but holds no hate.
And that's fine. I don't mind anyone disagreeing, like, obviously. But it's just, I've read everything that they've said. And I've read everything the Liberals have said. And it's a very self-evident, straight through line as to what's happening. So it's like, essentially, Liberals are just in denial about this. There's a reason they're constantly going on about communism, right? Oh, communists are thinking this, communists are doing that. Like, this doesn't happen in, like, wherever, like Papua New Guinea or something, right? Where they're not following liberal ideology. It's just communism never comes up. And there's a reason it dogs liberalism everywhere.
One-eyed gamer, there is only one true freedom, and that is the freedom of the grave. But luckily, socialism offers a lot of those too.
Oh, yeah.
M93, wrong, Sargon. Marx hated the family because his father kept scolding him for being a whiny and lazy good-for-nothing.
No, that's not true. Marx hated the family for ideological reasons. Like, there is a legitimate communist argument against the family from the perspective of being a communist. In fact, the family is explicitly hierarchical. Like, the family is precisely the opposite of what the communists are trying to achieve. Remember, they want a stateless, classless, moneyless, propertyless society, like the state of nature. That's what they want. So anything that creates any kind of hierarchical social structure is itself a part of the problem.
Tenarian, hi again from the Faroes Island. I've only once seen a foreigner as a lady. It was a drunk Italian getting too frisky at a bar. The girl calmly set her beer down, approached him from behind, and performed the cleanest suplex I've ever seen. Instant KO. That's one way to do it.
I've seen one foreigner, it was an Italian. Could have been worse, honestly. The Italians aren't terrible.
No. They're only partial browns. Leg? Wait, he wanted a society of Robinson Crusoe, society of sunburnt, starving, dehydrated, lonely, homeless people? Yes.
Yes, that's exactly what he said.
State of nature.
Yeah, that's exactly. Like the Hobbes himself, he just thinks that somehow industry will persist if the state controls it and everyone has to work. I mean, thing is, the assumption in communism that people will be educated out of the need of the state, and it's like, do you even fucking hear yourselves? Like, how's that going to work, bro? Obviously, it's fucking ridiculous, but it's just an extension of the liberal project.
Plague Runner, can't post what I want, YouTube. What I want, YouTube won't let me. YouTube will not let you.
Lost. Shit.
Steel Manning, normalize St. George for England as a farewell.
I like it.
Proto CJ, remember, India got independence from the British Empire by peaceful protest. England can also get independence from British Empire peacefully.
Well, I guess we'll see, won't we?
Brian Ehrman, if liberalism is secularized Protestantism, have you been taking your family to Mass at the Church of England or a Catholic church?
There is an Anglo-Catholic church. I don't know what the difference is, really. But my wife is getting a lot more out of it than I am, and my kids are as well. So I basically have to concede that my Sundays I spend an hour or so bored. It's not the end of the world, but like.
The DCV Titan, no bears in Britain. If Canada can parachute wolves into the US, we can parachute bears into Britain. You just need to ask. Honestly, all civilized society needs predators, okay?
It used to be us. We used to be the predators.
You need wolves, bears, and shit. It's important. It keeps people on their toes.
Yeah, we've had it too easy for too long.
Or at least, import something small that's just gonna, savage you but not kill you. No,
We've got badgers.
badgers will. Like the badger will fuck you up.
Yeah, they'll savage you. They're also really adorable.
Yes, they're fat and retarded.
Yeah, they're really cute. They're bigger than you think, though.
Oh yes, they're huge.
They're pretty chunky little shit.
Mongooses and ferrets. Ferrets, wolverines. Yes, those are fun.
Yeah, we've got like weasels and ferrets and stuff.
Ooh, chat mentioned boars. Wild boars are actually started becoming a problem in Norway because the thing is, those things are like the cockroaches of the animal kingdom, the proper world, right? Of the porcine variety. They don't die. They live anywhere. They thrive anywhere. Even in areas where humans are actively hunting them with trucks and machine guns, somehow the population keeps increasing.
They probably taste not great, but you could probably make something out of them.
Yep. They're nasty things. You don't eradicate those, apparently. They're like orcs.
Well, they're genuinely dangerous.
Oh, yes. The most dangerous animals around aren't even things like bears and wolves. Like, we've got both, but they're small variants here in Norway. We got little brown bears that, not the brown bears, the small like northern brown bears that are basically more like black bears. They're more afraid of you than you are of them 9 times 10. Same with our wolves. Starving, scared little things.
Little wolves.
Yes, they're a degenerate breed that's been inbreeding because we've killed most of them for so long that they're just tiny, mangy little things.
Oh no.
But the most dangerous animal in Norway is the moose. Because the thing is, the moose won't give a shit. It's like 5 times your weight and double your size.
Yeah, the moose are like last of the Ice Age megafauna, man.
Yes, it doesn't give a fuck.
Are you ready?
Like I love the videos where people are like, geez, I didn't realize moose were this big. And it's literally like, 3 times taller than a car.
Yes.
And it's like, yeah, no, these things are fucking enormous.
They're huge.
When I went to Norway, I got moose jerky. Not moose jerky, moose salami. It was really good. Really like flavorful.
It is. And it has no natural predators. None. Which means it views you as a small, pink, stupid thing that's interfering with it.
Yeah, why are you bothering me?
Mooses are cunts. Mercenaries anyone, God, please send the space aliens already? I don't know what that means. 45 of AC of P would fix not Kidman. Syntax. Vitklim, Art. In the previous Artcast, you mentioned the idea of Rape Man. I'm pleased to inform you it already exists. Thank God. We need a hero like that to cut down on the crime around here. Scarf of the Strange, wait till Valentina Gomez gets into office with that flamethrower. I bet she won't stop at Qurans. Valentina Gomez, I haven't heard of her.
No, I don't know what that's.
Osabi, 11. There are many varieties of liberalism, and so I am confused by Khan's blanket term. The liberalism of the US founding fathers is different from the liberalism of Tony Blair. Is it, though? All men are created equal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Somali over there who's slobbering all over himself.
Yeah.
Same as you.
The thing is, what the person is mistaking is the progression and development of the idea. Because you begin in a traditional society that has a premise, then people go generally to the first sort of logical conclusion of that. But there are further corollary conclusions that you can be forced to reach. And you can see it through the progression of liberalism as an idea. It begins basically in the sort of 16th, 17th century in England, goes over to America, then goes to France, then goes to Russia. And you can see just the development of, oh no, we've finessed this. You know, with like, and you see some things are clearly better than others. Like Locke was genuinely lazy on the idea. Like Locke decides, you know what, I'm just going to drop equality. I'm just going to drop it. I don't care about it. I'm not in favor of it. I don't really give a shit. It's like, that's great, mate. But Rousseau really is obsessed with equality. And so he picks it up and runs with it. And Locke becomes superseded through the arguments. Because basically it's a difficult thing to square. And like Rousseau does a very good job of trying to square it. It's a bad thing to do, but it's very clever. And when you have something that's very clever and you have people who want to use it for something, they will.
Yep.
Are you ready to rut this yellow mare's fluttery buttery butt?
Mercenaries, anyone? Those arms are worth 10k. Where do you get the money? Then you've got iconography from the 764 cult on them as well. The Child Hunter cult.
Yeah, that's a great question. Like, how did they afford this?
Worked a summer job.
Like, I mean,
Took
some of these
up a
guns
loan?
cost thousands.
I mean, I take it. I get you. I bet you could apply for a credit card. You come in there, pink hair, wearing a tutu. They're just going to give you one, charge it up to the max, buy the AR-15, and there you go.
Maybe.
Zinni, so I remember you saying that you hope something like national liberalism will be the way to solve our over-liberation problem. Do you think liberalism could actually be national? Yes.
Well,
Like, because the thing is,
definitely it can't.
I think it can be. But it needs to be subordinate to the nation. Like, because we like a lot of our liberal values. We like a lot of them. They've brought us a lot of good things. But they need to be understood as tools subordinate to the needs of the nation. And the nation, in turn, needs to be subordinate to the culture and heritage of the nation. For otherwise, it is not a nation.
But the thing is, you could just have the things that you like without calling it liberalism.
You could. We'd basically just have to redefine it, but just like Gramsci said, liberalism is a useful term. The Mail Ray, Sargon, have you been watching Alien Earth? For what it's worth, I'm sorry for their doing to Alien. They've gone full potato.
Oh, it's so bad.
Is it?
Like, yeah, it's really terrible. So I was actually quite optimistic about it, right? Because it looks nice, right? The presentation of it looks good. And so you're like, oh, right, okay. That, like, it's not immediately obvious that there's something wrong with it. And so you're like, oh, okay, well, you know, fair enough. And it's not a terrible premise, although it being set before the Alien movie is retarded. But then they're trying to tell a story in it. They're just telling it really, really badly. I've watched the first 3 episodes. I haven't watched the 4th because I just can't be bothered, frankly. I'll probably watch it at some point next week. But I've watched a couple of reviews and they're just like, this is shit. This is just people talking about bullshit for like 40 minutes and nothing happens because she's killed the alien already. So it's just like, oh god. Yeah, it's really bizarre premise that they don't understand the alien. The alien is now just a movie monster. It's just here to kill people. It's one of the problems that Alien 3 had, is that the alien was just a movie monster. It's like, but actually the alien isn't just a movie monster. Right? The alien has a plan. The alien does things for reasons. But now it's just here to kill things, bro. You know, it's just like, and the power level as well is fucking absurd. Like the alien, literally, right? These 3 guards with guns come up and find this guy he's frozen the alien in a bag or something, but it's starting to wake up. And these 3 guys with guns are standing there trying to talk to this guy, being like, what's this thing in the bag? And then the alien leaps up and literally like that, just slaughters them all, just chunks them, gives the lot of them. And it's like, what? Like, the people used to fight back against the alien and lose, but there'd be like a moment of intensity. Like, there's another bit where just before this, the alien breaks into some fucking dinner party and just kills everyone in literally about 2 minutes. About 24 people or a dozen people in about 2 minutes. It's like the alien isn't God. Like it's still physical. It still has to do things, and it's just preposterous. And then, like, it's just running around trying to scare them as well for some reason. It's like, why is it doing this? Why is it doing this? At one point, like, it pokes its head through these like curtains, looks at them, goes, yeah, and they're trapped in a like shipping container or whatever. And it's like, oh right, so it's just gonna go forward and kill them. And it doesn't. It just pulls its head back out and then runs off, and then starts like clambering on top of the container. It's like, what? Why didn't it just kill them? It's so dumb, man. It's such a dumb show.
Sounds like it's suffering from the classic, I didn't actually want to make an alien thing, but there's the only way I could get funding for this, so let's put the alien in it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the fucking problem they've got is, but like, it's just bad.
Watercry, from what I remember, Jesus was nice to the outsiders, but his disciples were mostly fishermen.
Maybe, I can't remember.
Mr. Personality, look into the shooter's father and who they worked for. BlackRock? It's BlackRock, isn't it? It's always fucking BlackRock.
Is he going to appear in another BlackRock advert?
Yeah, it's always BlackRock. I just accept it now. Lord Castellan, anyone wanting to mangle their own privates is mentally unwell. Yes. Like,
therefore, they should be able to buy firearms.
Genuinely, yes. Like, I'm even accepting of the idea that there could be people with actual, genuine body dysphoria, but that's the entire thing. If you have that, that's why we should require you to go to a psychiatrist for a year before anything else is done, just to check if, hey, do you actually have this, or are you just fucking mental?
Or have you just been on Reddit for 2 months? Oh.
Yeah. Because most people who'll look down at their dick and decide to chop it off, something wrong with them. Overwhelming majority. Murgler, Carl, I know you Brits generally hate your media. What's your take on Alex Phillips?
She had an affair with Farage a few years ago. So she's very partisan reform, but she seems nice enough. She seems nice. She doesn't seem like a bad person.
Marksman Frank Zarnu explained it best in his Heishi video. Our people never built a country, so why did we ask for a country to manage when we can't? What we really wanted, what we needed wasn't independence, it was freedom. We still need them to run things. God, that sounds an awful lot like the African asking to become an official pet, though. And Marksman, this and last super for friendship and benefits. Also, apparently, there are plans to move the capital city of various African countries because the trash issue has become too bad to live with. These countries are destined to collapse. What a sight that'll be. That is another beautiful example of an African solution. The trash has piled up so high, we can't live here anymore. What shall we do, oh president? We shall move cities.
Yeah. I mean, the argument for colonialism has never been stronger.
Based in Liverley, as of today, YouTube censors English, Welsh, Scottish flags in the comments. Union Jack still okay? Liberate my ancestral homeland. UK and Minnesota.
Really? Remarkable.
Rock Jupiter, since Heishi is such a shithole and clearly needs more diversity, I propose all criminal migrants get banished to Heishi. Make it a penal colony. Trevren, greetings, Arts and Sargon. Check out the game Valor Mortis, Troubleshooter. Abandoned Children. Valor Mortis. I think I've seen
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Oh yeah, the first-person Dark Souls set in the French Revolution, or well, after the French Revolution, Napoleon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm following that. It looks pretty cool, so I might check it out when it comes out, I guess.
Okay.
It's got a very nice style. The French did know how to dress under Napoleon.
They did, yeah. Can't deny the drip. I mean,
Are
it's
you ready
it's
to
at least a
rut this
creative
yellow
premise.
mare's fluttery, buttery bud?
Definitely. I mean, it's a little bit of a completely fucking random off the wall one as well. It's like, oh yes, there's zombies and undead Napoleonic warriors now, but you know what? I don't care. It looks cool.
Yeah, no, let it ride, man. That sounds at least interesting.
The DCV Titan, or did he mean Africa has no future? Oh, not until we can reprogram the Africans, at least. Worded, it takes decades of civ and god worship to break out of this. Even the ancient Mesopotamians thought things happened to them.
Yeah. I mean, literally, it's thousands of years it takes to develop out of this.
Deadpool Kid, I think she meant to say return to monkey. Jack Price, I hate that this will be used to justify violating the rights of law-abiding citizens, like we don't jump through enough hoops to follow certain laws. Well, of course, a mentally ill person shot up a school, therefore your rights will have to be curtailed. It's only natural.
Yeah, you can't have things.
Yeah. Listen, somebody patently insane could get a hold of this. Don't you care?
And that could be you.
No, build the science algorithms, goddammit. Deadpool Kid, that's the whole reason why Father Yakub made us whiteys, because we have moved forwards. Yes. Every day I trust more in the Yakubian plan.
Well, I
Attackman,
mean,
I want whatever she is on. I don't know. Dodger UK, African time, and next week I need to work to pay bills. 1 year, same, 2 years, same. I just work to pay bills. Frog Jupiter, Yakub was bullied by ebonoids who couldn't think of the future of the results of bullying. Made the albinoids able to see the future to prevent this. The deep lore.
I'm learning a lot these days.
I did find this made in 2022, and I shouldn't laugh, but this is fucking funny.
Wow.
The kid has a point. What can I say?
Are you ready to rut this yellow mare's fluttery, buttery bud?
Deadpool killed. That's called sitting on your glutes, sweetheart. Glutes? Remorse, by her African logic, when a tree that falls in the forest but no one sees or hears it, it didn't happen, because events are tied to people. Yes, it was always there.
Yeah.
It was always laying just that way.
Yeah.
And you have no proof to counteract that, so there you go.
Yeah, what would proof even look like? You can't conceive of the future. You can't conceive of things outside of your experience.
Ballcraft, if I never do anything, time doesn't happen, so I'm immortal.
The answer.
Correct. Until you die.
Yeah. And that's an event.
Yeah.
You're storing up your time to die.
Yes. You're building it up.
Yeah.
Base Shaman, one tenant Christians have failed to follow time and time again. Render to Caesar that which is Caesar. Render to God that which is God's. Jump Froggable, hello Arch. Do you feel like you have a new understanding of the documentary Empire of Dust? Yes, I do.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was always wondering, because there's the quarry chief who's like, listen, I can't sell you gravel, because if I sell you gravel, you'll take over the gravel business and I won't be able to sell you gravel. And this logic makes no sense.
You are the gravel business.
Yes. It makes no sense. But if you think of it like this, then he's just thinking, okay, well, if I sell him the gravel, I'll have less gravel, which means he'll take over my gravel.
And he'll sell it to other people.
Yeah. Meanwhile, this Chinese person is like, I just want it for the asphalt, dude.
Yeah, I'm not going to go into the gravel selling business, retard.
My plan is to build a road, and then in the future, I'll come back to buy more gravel from you because I will require more gravel to continue to maintain the road.
I have no idea what you mean because you mentioned the
Service
future.
guarantees citizenship.
Yes. K-Bar's barbecue. Should Trump just take over Britain so the barbarians leave?
No.
This whiz,
We'll do
that
ourselves.
explains why Africans has no future. And Chia, before you guys started with the Global South, the Mayans made a calendar that lasted in 2012.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
A fuzzy creature. Ultimately, their use of event space-time, which is based on the individual, means they cannot coordinate with each other. Measurements enables action, I think. And Rubberlegs, emphasis on our being able to conceptualize the future and make the decision together. That is a difficult power. Are you sure you're able to master it to its fullest, though? Sandoom, that woman saying future does not exist explains things even more. It explains that story of the African guy who tried to bake a bunch of bread to make money, but his family came along and ate it. Yeah. He has bread now, so he will always have bread.
Yeah.
Until the bread is gone, and then he never had bread.
What possible use could he have for bread in the future?
Mason Miller, the most fascinating thing about her is how proud she is to share that about Africans. I mean, she gives off the vibe of somebody who has happened across something profound. And I mean, she has, but perhaps not in the way she intended.
Yeah, it's weird that she's so proud of it. Like, look, I can finally explain to you why you're wrong. Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I can explain to you why you're so obsessed with planning things and making things and stuff.
Yeah. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess you can.
Ben, African time seems to me as an extreme form of presentism. Arrogantly so. Something where you create time, not understanding that time cares not if you exist or not. It comes and goes as it pleases. Yes. Unfortunately, the universe does not care over much about us. It will continue to go on with or without us. Krieger, what in the Yakub is this African time magic? That is a question many of us have been answering. I've been asking.
Just had it explained to you, actually. Thank you very much.
Word and steppy Europeans had an advantage on time perception because one had to predict the pasture, seasons, and enemies. They debatedly invented the wheel to move faster across the plains.
Yeah.
Zinni, it's also tiresome. It is. That is a great meme. Humble merchant, you let the government disarm you all. You earned this. Listen.
It's not like that. You don't understand.
Yeah, this is a wider topic which we can't get into now because we're already half an hour above our supposed time, but more complicated. Magnus Lord, inaction is tacit support of Muzzies graping girls. An action is a 10-year sentence. Sujad, that Shiloh woman was from Minnesota, the one who used the gamer word on the Somali child. Do you know what happened to her? I think she got arrested. I haven't heard anything more.
She has been arrested. She's going to be charged with something. It's like, what the hell can you charge someone with in America?
Incitement. I guarantee. I think I talked about this when it happened, that she was going to get charged for incitement.
Really?
Yes. Because this... I gotta word myself carefully here now.
Yeah, you better.
But there is this prevailing theory in America that if you use certain words to certain people, then they simply won't be able to help themselves from attacking you.
Oh, wow. Okay, right.
And therefore using those words constitutes incitement to violence.
Interesting. Well, yeah, you better be very careful about explaining that point.
Yes, it requires a degree of delicacies.
Oh, yeah, I bet it fucking does.
An entirely theoretical conceptualization of the Americans, of course, but, you know. I forgot. Well, she's going to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law because that's just what happens in modern society. But
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't stick.
Well, obviously, yeah.
Jay Sickman, with hate speech laws on the books, the only obvious solution is obvious Fed posting. Come on, guys. Carl is the UK? UK? Carl is in the UK. Ah, there we go.
Yeah, I obviously can't say
Anything.
mostly, yeah.
Does summon. You are importing predators. Yes.
Unfortunately, this appears to be the case.
Based hillbilly, anti-racism is based on ignorance. Or blind hope. Mercenaries 21, you need military great weapons for the war. Kind of, yeah. Those things are not nice. Every saga, until you gain tribal will view. Yeah, go on.
There's just not going to be a war like you think. That's not what's going to happen here.
I think he meant the boar as in the actual boar in this case.
Oh, the boar. I thought you said war, sorry.
Military great weapons for the boar. Yes, the boar.
I've seen like them in Texas, man, but these things are fucking enormous. And they're shooting them from helicopters. And it's like, yeah, fucking get them, lads. This is, I mean, it looks badass, don't get me wrong, but like, I don't know.
There was it wasn't this one, but it's kind of like, understand the fucking size of these things.
Yeah, massive.
Service guarantees citizenship.
It's genuinely ridiculous. And again, understand as well, because you're like, oh, it's just a pig. It's not dangerous.
It's got
This thing,
tusks.
this thing will hit you with the force of a fucking car.
Yeah.
And those tusks are plenty sharp. And they're at the exact height of your groin region.
Yeah, that's the worst part.
Yeah, no. And there seems to be no good way to eradicate them. Like, even in the US, where they literally hunt them with helicopters and trucks, the fuckers still find a way to keep breeding and keep living. The orcs of the real world.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are orcs. I would definitely eat that, though.
Elder Saga, until you gain a tribal worldview and exclude others, you'll suffer. You can't see nuns as positive or neutral. They're all negative and multiplicative. Sad but true.
Yep.
Sandoom, moose has one predator, the killer whale. Really?
I have lost.
Killer whales predate upon mooses, do they? Jacobus Peterson, how ironic that a man building the future of rocketry is an African. Congrats on test flight 10. There is a certain rich irony in that, I agree. Harrison Jodit, Wyatt's torch is best username. Who is John Galt?
I've never read Ayn Rand.
I don't know either. Sentinel Rex, orca whales are the natural predators of moose. I don't even know how that happens. I'm assuming they just swim and then they get eaten by fucking whales somehow. Anime document, bring back the Empire, please. We would all like that. So Giant Art have sent you a video via Discord, Chaos Marine Twitter video about 2 minutes long. There you go. You've told me your name so I can find you and stuff. South African woman speaks. I'll save that maybe for next week, because I'd want to do the Frank Zanu one next week. It's just so much shit happened, this one. Mason Miller, to be fair to the alien Sargon, it was just in a spaceship accident. It may have been a little confused, especially disconnected from any hive mind. Dragon Eric, am I the only one who thinks we should use gene editing to completely speciate the West and abandon the rest of humanity?
I mean, I don't want to do anything like that.
That's complicated too.
I just want my
Service
government not to
guarantees citizenship.
continually stab me in the back.
Most of the next one, YouTube censorship is getting worse, Arch. I've had to get creative with chat censorship. Another day that ends in Y. Zinni, with the way things are going right now and in the foreseeable future, do you think deglobalization of the internet is likely? I kind of think it's inevitable.
I don't really see how it works.
Yeah, I don't think of the internet. Like, that ship has sailed, but deglobalization to a degree, at least in politics, I think. But I genuinely think we're going to see a resurgence of racism. But in the form of race realism.
I think we're seeing it.
Yeah. I guarantee within like 100 years, I'm going to take myself the long view here, there's going to be academic classes called race realism again. I fucking guarantee it. Renos, I hope Asmon react to your video on the Somali town in the US. Yanks need to see it through the old world eyes because they don't get it.
Yeah, I know. I've seen so many Americans who are just like, oh, this is weird, isn't it? It's like, dude. Like what? Like it's a Somali colony that's being set up. They're not Americans.
Alex Anderson, see what I mean about Americans? You let them disarm you. Yes, bro, our country wasn't born from a violent revolution like yours. One of your choice. Most next anyone, the lady in Minnesota was charged with offensive behavior. In other words, she's being charged with using her First Amendment rights. That is disorderly conduct. Yeah, I figured. It would be something like that. Right, I think, is that us at an
Are you ready
end?
to rut this
Oh
yellow
no,
mare's
one more sneaks in.
buttery butt?
Zinni, deglobalization as in countries are going to impose selective censorship based on the culture, polities of said country, and so on. Okay, that's a bit more precise. Difficult to, I think countries want to do that. I know the EU wants to do that. There are many countries now that look at the internet and would love to enforce like a English internet, a European internet, etc., where they have full control. Yeah. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think if you try to do that, it's going to be prohibition. People will find any way to get around it. And once there is an incentive that large to get around it, people will find a way.
And also, I mean, just be thankful it's the Americans that really control the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it could have been way worse. If it was the Europeans controlling the internet, holy fuck.
Oh, that would be bad.
That'd be terrible.
That would be very...
We'd all have been banned from everything a long time ago.
Social media probably wouldn't even have existed in the way it does.
Yeah.
The internet would simply have been an academic tool, in all due likelihood. It would be a series of servers connected to, employment places and schools and universities, and nobody would ever think to use it to communicate normally or play games or anything. Hey, at least in that future, gaming might have been better. No always online bullshit. Yeah, maybe this would be the good future after all. But, right. That is everything from us today. Thank you. Oh, President Obama tried to give the internet to the EU. Thank God he failed, I guess.
Fire is the answer.
Yeah, thank fuck.
And until next time, chat, thank you for watching. Thank you for your generous donations. Thank you for putting up with the aggressive ads on YouTube. Reminder, all streams are now getting aggressive added because it helps with the algorithm. Enormously so. Ridiculously so. Like 30-40% boost so. So if you want to avoid being bent over a barrel and ruthlessly fucked by endless ads every 2 minutes, consider Kick. or Brave,
Can you not become a channel member?
No, I can't. That doesn't even turn off the ads.
Doesn't it?
Now, YouTube Red does, I think.
I guess I mean, I pay for YouTube Premium, so.
Yep.
But like, God, I can't believe not even becoming a channel member gets rid of the ads. That's so stingy.
Sorry, chat. YouTube is actively encouraging and rewarding me to punish you. So where there's a whip, there's a way.
I guess, yeah.
They've actually made a brilliant system here where I get more viewers for harassing my viewers. Okay, makes sense. I get more ad revenue for hurting my viewers. And I get to sit here and go, if you don't want it, go to Kick. They have managed to create a system where I am incentivized on every level to actively victimize my viewership.
But also to tell them to get off of YouTube.
Yes.
The thing is, people won't. They'll still use YouTube.
I know. It's more remarkable. So there you are, chat. At least I'm being honest with you. Until next time, have a good day, chat.